when last we played our roles, the party, through a bit of a challenge, healed up a bit, and then went after Virgil, slaughtering the last of his guards, interrupting some of his power flow, and then basically one-shotting him in a single turn. To the point where the invisible Rusty and Orin timed their stealth attacks, and despite the varying resistances and surprisingly effective stealth, took out Virgil to the point where Robin was able to finish him off, and then begin venting her frustrations on the altar from not being able to do more, and try to get out some other issues. While she was doing that and Vox was trying to console her, the party went back into the other room and investigated a mysterious tall mirror that had some oddly bright symbols on it. Through opening it up, it turned out to be a planted scrying mirror for contact with a place in a city to the west, where they met Gilbert Goldfree, a 9-foot-tall, gold-scaled dragonborn with a radiating aura glow to him, and he has gotten information from Beers, one of his clerics that was on a previous shipment from the city in the west to Harroway months ago, and is the sole survivor of the forces that went missing, and is why trade with Harroway had stopped due to Virgil's abductions and kidnappings and religious sacrifices. Question mark. But now with the main threat out of the way, Mr. Goldfree tells the party of his plan. So, I'm thinking I'm gonna just put out the word and try to get a mass of people to go and help resettle the city, not let it go completely fall to ruin. We can give it a new beginning. I believe someone mentioned earlier that you were helping a town called Masara. I'm not seeing it here on this map, so I'm guessing it's kind of new. You mentioned it was people that left Harroway back in the day because of Virgil's antics before things got to the unfortunate point that they did.
I'm all set.
That would be about right.
Alright, well, since I will be sending I'm gonna be trying to amass as many guards as I can that are willing to move out there and live out in the countryside in the smaller city, so they can get away from the hustle and bustle of this place and help things grow in the east. Do you think you could try to do me a favor and get in touch with those in Masara, especially considering your likely influence from your help with them in the past from the what you've told me so far? I think it would be best for the residents to move back to somewhere a bit more secure, especially now that we have guards that will be informed on how things went to a degree. I don't want to say too much, and he leans back, pulls the curtain shut behind him, but before he does, he makes sure that there's nobody nearby. I fear that there's some corruption here in Sortrastala as well.
Oh. Well, that sounds concerning.
Yes.
You think somebody that's in the room with you?
No. It's very unlikely for that, but I need to keep this on the down low just to prevent my knowledge of this potential from getting out. But essentially,
understandable.
about a year ago, I think it was, I sensed something wrong with a shadow that was far too dark, despite my presence. And he just gestures to how he's glowing. The shadow of one of my workers was unbelievably dark, and it just didn't sit right with me. I casted a spell to essentially dispel magic, and a shadow creature emerged out of it. I was able to dispatch it before they even recognized what I was doing. He just gives a little chuckle.
They didn't even notice?
Yeah, Brad is not the brightest one, and it's probably why he had that tail on him, but after that point, I started thinking about things, and the council's been pushing on a few less than savory ideals and desires towards new laws that they have trying to go into place. So I'm trying to figure out what's going on behind the scenes over here.
Makes sense. That is concerning, though.
Agreed. And considering you lot eliminated the shadow threat, I know I can trust you all.
So would you like us to eventually come investigate your neck of the woods?
Oh, I will definitely want to meet and thank you personally at some point. But,
Question.
yes.
Did we tell him that we put the body on the altar and it went shoop?
I assume
I
no.
think we mentioned that.
Okay.
I
just
don't
wanted
think
to
you
ask.
did.
I don't think you did.
Oh, well,
No.
maybe we should mention
Are
that.
you sure? I remember him saying that that the body. He didn't state how it got on there, but he mentioned that the body got onto the altar and went swoop.
Okay.
I
okay.
believe that one.
My apologies. I'm sorry, I forgot.
Hmm.
I just
That's
wanted
okay.
to clarify.
But yeah, essentially, yeah, it sounds like things got really bad over there, and that's why he's like, yeah, I'm definitely trusting you guys, considering it sounds like something was being sent as tributes to whatever is behind the scenes regarding these shadowy instances. But it's also going to be a bit too dangerous. I don't want you to come over here just yet. The plane shifting planes are going to be changing in just under a month. I'm going to be barely getting this group together in time to send them over.
Wait a minute, that thing has a
can I-
calendar?
Can I make
Every-
a
Hmm?
Oh no, sorry. No, go ahead. Finish what you were gonna say.
Every season, the planes shift and go to somewhere else, and those that are in the middle of traveling through the one that was previously there are usually never heard from again. So there's a travel ban in the week during when the shift is supposed to happen. Just
What kind
to
of
So-
place is this?
So the things
Yeah.
before they shift, people are there and they shift, and then by the time those things come back around in the cycle, all the people that were there are gone.
That's the thing. It takes hundreds, sometimes thousands of years before another one comes up. It seems to be random.
Oh,
wait.
How do you enact a travel ban, then?
What happens when the planes aren't there? Is it just like a void, like a big gap? Actually, can I just?
Well, I mean,
make a-
there was the abyssal plane at one point, and
Yeah.
I mean, there was the bridge, and there were a few flying
Oh.
creatures that attacked a couple caravans at one point. I think that was about 800 years ago, though. It's hard for me to remember that one.
so Bobby, just out of character, real quick.
Mhm.
This is like a location in the world that people would probably know about.
The ones, especially like that dealt with Haraway and Sorcha Scala, yes.
Okay, I was gonna specifically say, as my character is a guild artisan and technically a bit of a guild merchant of sorts,
Mm-hmm.
would I be able to make a check to see if I know what this is, or?
Because you do not have trade with Sorcha Scala at this time,
Uh-huh.
I will say no. But he seems to have some knowledge, so you're welcome to ask more.
All right. All right. I mean, sorry. I'm just trying to
No
think
worries,
what to
no worries.
ask because I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around this.
Oh yeah, no, this
plane.
was an interesting concept I came up with. I'm like, huh, yeah, that would be neat.
It's almost like it's a
It's the plot of that
space-time
movie
continuum.
2012.
Oh my
So
God.
is this shifting plane like a
is it? Sorry, I'm trying to think.
Let's
Is it
do
almost like
time warp
almost like a
again.
field that shifts between the different like planes of existence from time to time,
Yes.
and you just walk through it, but it somehow exists corporeally in the material plane, and then it just kind of shifts out randomly to another exist like that. So like you
The
could have like a
timing
fight.
isn't random, but it
Yes.
shifts randomly to other planes. Yes.
So theoretically speaking, you could have like a time frame where there's just randomly a plane of water that just leads to between here and there, and then at
Yes.
some point it could just randomly become like earth or wind or
It's
et
currently the
cetera.
plane of Earth that is shifted in.
Interesting.
And then
Or, and I
next
think
season
you're
it's
thinking
going to
about
change
the
to
Very
something
concerning.
else. There's always a path that it stays materialized. That's the one thing to the material world that is consistent with the plane shifting planes, is there's this undamageable cobblestone path that just exists, and the greatest wizards that have lived and done their research here in Sorcha Scala still find it a mystery to this day.
Hold on, sorry.
Yep, no worries. The theory behind it is, it seems to be potentially one of the remnants of the original Great War between the gods, and he rubs against his bronze tie, which has a holy symbol on it that matches the one that you saw on Beers's equipment.
Mhm.
They don't really like talking about that time, considering it was nearly 6,000 years ago now.
Oh my god. And when was the last time this happened? You said 800 years ago?
Well, 800 years ago was when it was the plane of abyss that shifted in,
Ah!
where it's essentially
Well, that
just
might
a
explain
void.
where some of these shadows are coming from.
Potentially, but this seems way too recent for that.
That's fair.
You know
Maybe they're
what?
How
How
about
Yeah,
long
long
time.
has it been since the last Switch?
last season. It's like you're essentially
Oh, that's right, it's
coming to the
seasonal.
end of summer right now. It's about to be fall in this world.
That sounds like real life. Well, a little bit earlier, but anyways.
Are you
Yeah,
counting global warming?
That'd be the plane of fire. Haha. So, alright, I see Mr. Gnome's in a bit of deep thought. Do any of you have any questions for me or anything?
Oh, well. Maybe we'll let him think it over for a bit, but I was thinking we should start by heading to Masara, telling them all about what happened here and your propositions.
Yeah, because
Ooh. I just thought of something my character might ask.
well, then get ready to ask in a minute. Yeah, I would appreciate you doing that, because I think you lot would be more influential than I.
Yeah, we can
considering
take a whack
your
at it.
history with them.
Not a problem.
And considering how much you've done, you'd probably have some good influence, because I want to be able to help the other mortals prosper and be able to just see what golden, shining creations everyone can make and do and contribute to growing our society as a whole.
Right. That.
This was my mother's dream.
Well, she sounds really nice.
She certainly was.
Bobby.
Yep.
Quick questions.
In or out of
Normal, out of character.
Alright.
Dragonborn, do they live a long time?
Less than humans usually about 80 years. And he has mentioned that he's
I thought
over
that was
1,000.
weird. So I was a Dragonborn in our first campaign, and I was like, wait a minute, they live to be like 80.
So, he's old, you said?
He said he's over 1,000.
Over 1,000, okay.
Hey, Bobby. I
Yep.
speak Draconic. Would I have any knowledge of this being an
Just
odd...
from speaking, no. If you
Okay,
have any
so-
hunches that you want to inquire on.
So I don't know how to ask this, but I would ask him about the mountain I woke up at to see if he knows any information about it.
Well, the way to
Since-
ask that would be, oh, hey, I have amnesia. I woke up at this place.
Well, I can't remember the name of the mountain.
You don't have a name for the mountain.
Oh, I thought I did. Oh,
Nope.
then I can ask it. Okay, never mind then. I thought I did.
You do not have a name for it. You just know that it was roughly 2 days northeast of Masara.
Okay, fair enough. I will not ask it then. I thought I had a name.
Okay. Right, sorry, I'm just trying to buy time for Jim to get back because
Oh, that's fine.
of the interruption.
Oh, when
hope
will
everything's
you-
all right.
When will you be on your way here to check up on your progress?
I don't know when I could head that way. I definitely won't be able to make it before the temporary ban on travel, because I have to kind of run things here. As he just like gestures and like pulls the curtain open slightly with the bright hallway behind him. Closes the curtain again.
My eyes!
It's not that dark because he's glowing anyways. But yeah.
Can't you just use the setting stone to keep in touch with your company?
I mean,
He
not a bad idea.
thinks for a second, makes a little note. I mean, I can do that myself as it is, but I kind of need to manage things. I am the face as well.
I just thought of something.
I know what that's
Take
like.
a small piece of sending stone and just stick it in their ear.
Oh my god.
Just
no.
press on it. Make it like Bluetooth.
Oh my god. It's a rock
Sorry.
tied to your head.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
You say that like I have been trying to come up with that as it is.
Oh my god. There you go, Bob.
But yeah, no, I've been working on that already. But yeah. So yeah, definitely I'm gonna want you guys to do that. I think between the residents who will elect to move out of the busy city to have a bit more of a calmer life, because things are kind of hectic here, and while it's great that so many people come to Sorchastala, it does tend to get a bit overcrowded. So one of the opportunities I try to provide is being able to, for the people looking for a new life, to be able to start somewhere a bit more peaceful in some senses, and just a change of scenery, at least.
Isn't that the dream?
I probably won't be able to make it out there myself for a good while, considering all the high-profile stuff I've got to manage on this end. I've got great employees. You're damn right, sir. Yes, Susie.
Oh my god.
But yeah, I can only do so much.
That makes sense. Yeah, we're
I
happy
am
to help.
but one being, after all.
True, true. I'm several, just not at the same time.
Just
Depends on the
blink,
spell.
blink. Right, the shape changer.
Goes back out of frame, comes back in, or this person comes back out of frame, comes back in, and this person.
Exactly.
I got it. Heroes.
No,
Such
can
a
you throw
unique
your
bunch.
voice?
What?
Could you throw your voice too?
Oh yeah, I have the active feat.
Oh, okay.
Plus, I think they can do that anyways, but like, I wasn't sure. It doesn't really specify, so through the active feat so I can mimic anybody's voice.
You can change it, it's just a matter of knowing the voice to recreate.
True, true. Like, I can do it with any of you guys, anybody from like the Thieves Guild that I knew, anybody that I've met in town, people we fought, depending on
You've
how
got
long
a
they stayed
a
alive.
repertoire.
Exactly.
Oh dear.
Oh, ooh. Bobby,
Yes.
The dreams I had.
Uh-huh.
Did I recognize any symbols in those?
Nope. It
Okay.
was mostly silhouettes.
Okay. But like the tapestry or something, like the dining hall area, there wasn't any.
It was very bright light and the silhouettes of your comrades.
Okay.
Not, and like the
Damn.
silhouettes of food on the table. It was very vague, especially for the first one.
Damn.
Sorry.
Give me nothing to work with, Bob. Oh, temporary hit points. I assume those are gone.
I think those just last until the rest. If you have them.
Okay.
Cool.
But yeah.
Then I still have 7.
So we told them about the thing.
Yep.
Do we tell them exactly what the altar looked like? Did he have any insight on that?
I mean, you could try sliding the heavy mirror over if you're careful.
Didn't it get destroyed by Robin?
Last you heard, there was a lot of shattering as she kept stabbing it.
Hmm.
And I think Orin did a check on it at one point, and it was clearly a tribute type altar to some powerful entity. But there was no identifying markers on it for what entity.
All I know is it vacuums up corpses.
Yeah, that. I still can't believe you did that. I want a boss fight part 2.
Thump. All right.
When should we be expecting your first fleet?
And about 3 weeks from today. It's gonna take me a week to put out the word and get enough volunteers. The second week will be to make sure everyone gets ready, and I accrue the compensations for their volunteer work to go out there, so that they have additional motivation as well. And then it'll take them a week to get through the plains. It is that large.
Yeesh.
Then
What
you
happens
said
if
we'd
they
be
decide to flip
compensated.
around?
I'm sorry, you guys talked at the same time. Mott first.
Oh, so what happens if the planes decide to flip around?
Like I said, if you are on the shifting planes when they shift, you're stuck on that other plane.
Oh, I know. You just said somebody was going to be heading through there.
Yeah, that's why they're going out now. The season changes in a month.
Yikes.
And you said we'd be compensated for this trouble?
Well, from what Burrs was mentioning, it seems you guys yourselves got a bunch, but I've got a little special something for you in mind.
Oh. Okay.
Well,
I was
do
gonna,
tell.
I can't provide much gold remotely, but I think you guys will like the gift. It's just a little bit limited, but I've got a special resource. I'll just leave it at that. And he just
Is
smiles.
he just gonna drop a house on us?
No, but
No, but what is it? A mobile home?
no. What? Oh,
Okay.
yeah. So this was mentioned in the summary last time, but from you guys' conversation with him as well as Beers and the rest of the Resistance talking earlier, the plan in place is that Virgil's house, to get rid of the memento of it, is going to be melted down and turned into currency for the people of Old Masara to give them essentially a new start of wealth so they can afford things, especially once trades really gets going between the eastern areas with Harwaytul and then Harwaytul's trade with Sorcha Scala to the west. So
Only could afford bronze
there's going to be an
walls.
open plot of land, and the plan is for the builders that he's going to be sending, one of their earlier projects is going to be to build you guys a base of operations on Virgil's old plot of land.
I don't think that was mentioned.
Yes, it
I
was.
knew the house. Was it? Oh, I knew the house was going to be melted down.
And
Okay, maybe
in
I was
its
distracted.
place, you guys are going to essentially get a base of operations in the east.
Out of
Awesome.
character. At least we got it in the nice part of town.
Dave, you've been kind of quiet. Anything that you've been curious about, or anything you want to discuss?
No, I got all my questions answered for the time being.
Do you need more tea for your kettle?
Oh, I can always find that out and about.
All right. Since we're still waiting on Jim,
But they're always bitter free.
Jake, you did mention asking about something with his age because of Draconic. That, like, you guys have the general knowledge of Dragonborn living less than 100, and he has said that he is 1,000. So either you can draw your own
roll an
conclusions, or
intelligence
you
check?
could potentially ask.
I'll just ask. Hey, so I had an interesting question. You mentioned remembering something that was 800 years ago. What? How?
Well, as I
mean,
mentioned
don't you
earlier,
guys live
I'm
to
a
be,
little
like-
over 1,000, I believe. It's hard to keep track after so many
You're
hundreds of
sorry.
years.
You're a little what?
I am a little over 1,000. It's hard to keep track after so many years.
Right. You did mention that. How?
He just
Can I roll an intelligence
smiles
check
a little
to see
bit.
if I know this?
Well, what creatures do you know of that live over 1,000 years? Go ahead and roll intelligence checks for the.
Oh, I already did that.
Santa.
Intelligence.
God damn it, Jake,
Save.
spoilers. No, I'm
This
kidding.
is how the gang saves Christmas.
Intimidation. Where's intelligence?
It's
Sure, it wouldn't be like an insight check.
intelligence is one of your middle stats, Ian, on the left side.
Okay. Well, I got an 11, so I don't think I know.
Intimidation, Investigation.
Yeah, it's either a history, which uses intelligence, or you can roll straight intelligence.
Oh. Well,
But
I
in
have
y-
a 14.
In your case, though, Ian, because of,
Disadvantage.
yeah. So, Jake and Dave, you're
Nice.
I got an 11.
11. Kratom, how about you?
Oh,
what
God,
was the
what
check, was
happened?
it?
Intelligence.
Oh,
slash history.
good luck to me.
Excuse
Oh.
me, Daft Punk?
16.
Kratom, you haven't been in this land for too long.
Bobby.
Yeah.
I can
Bobby.
hear none of that.
Oh, God damn it.
Oh, now I can hear you.
Yeah, now you're good.
I just connected my fucking hotspot, and I put my phone up in the window, so hopefully that stabilizes things a bit.
I'm shocked your phone just hasn't melted from usage of the hotspot.
Oh no, it doesn't melt, it just throttles. But anyways, back on topic. Kratom, you would get this, and Mott, you're just like, huh, that's kind of weird. How do I piece this together? Kratom, even though you haven't been in these lands for too long, due to the method of how you got here, you picked up some information from those who ferried you. And dragons tend to live pretty long. They're one of the
Well,
few
do I
creatures
know
that
what a
do live
dragon-
that long.
Do I know what a
Wonder what
dragon
the-
is?
Well, you fought a low tier one early on.
Or do I know there was a dragon or just a big lizard?
From the stories, you'd be able to piece that together, especially with that check.
Oh, okay. So yeah, sounds like a dragon. Looks like a dragon. Don't know if he smells like a dragon, he's too far away.
I mean, yeah, I am across the plains after all. And he just chuckles.
But he's not a hoarder.
We
They
haven't
don't all
seen
do
his
that.
house.
Son, how do you think I run Golden Opportunities?
Are you
With a
hoarder?
big golden opportunity the size of your house.
Why are you hoarding people?
I'm not
Rude.
hoarding people. Oh my gosh. And
He's hoarding opportunities. Can't you follow?
No, I can't.
He's
I only
face
have a
palming
10
and
intelligence.
just softly laughing like, oh boy, these are some interesting ones.
Oh, out of character, Jesse texted me that he just woke up, so tired.
Oof.
What? Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, he does the overnight shifts, so.
Yeah, I guess that's normal for him now.
Yep.
But fuck. Anyways, still don't know what happened to Jim.
I
Getting a
do.
little
I do.
concerned.
It's fine. It's just
Oh,
taking
okay.
time. He messaged me right when he left.
Oh, okay, cool. I just want to make sure there's nothing bad happening.
No, he just got volunteered for something to help.
Oh
with.
no.
Yep.
He's
I
actually
love when that
freaking-
happens.
He's gonna try to be back as soon as possible.
Cool.
So yeah, I'll essentially say this: Kratom, you have essentially figured out that Goldfree is definitely a dragon, like a straight up dragon, but he's looking like a dragonborn right now.
Neat. I dig the disguise.
Why, thank
You
you.
kind of mentioned that because you said he was like bigger than one last time, or like
Yeah,
you
he's, like,
alluded to
9
him
feet tall.
being like not a regular dragonborn.
Yeah, he is 9 feet tall.
Huh. Well, somebody has some giantitis. It's been nice knowing him.
You mean elephantitis?
No. Elephantitis is just like certain parts of your body.
Oh, fair enough.
Giantitis is like what Andre the Giant had, hilariously, ironically, sadly, actually. That was just his wrestling name, but he died because he just kept growing.
Oh.
How does that happen?
It's a very rare disorder.
Yes, but how does that kill you?
Not
You
enough
know, your
serious
organs
about
can
the body.
only like process so much.
Yeah.
You ever notice how fat people have a hard time breathing?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, if his organs, the rest of his body grew, but his organs didn't.
No, they could only just do so much. So think
yeah.
of it as a filter. If you try to cram more shit in,
Yeah, but if you grow a bigger filter, then
Yeah, I don't think like the heart and brain grow.
I don't think the organs kept up.
then that would make sense. But anyway, side tangent.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Bobby,
it
I
is
hear-
nice to buy
Bobby.
time for Jim, but yeah, robot, right? Because I've been hearing
Bobby,
you
you're
guys robot too.
making music again. I can't understand you.
I can't wait for fiber.
Man, I love Daft Punk.
I can't wait for fiber.
That is the saddest robot I've ever heard.
Indeed.
Jim, you're back.
Jim gets bad because I'm lagging, of course.
Also, Jesse
my
texted me that he
God.
just woke up.
Yep, we
Same.
found that out.
I should probably check my test.
Come back here, rabbit. Anyone remember that episode of Looney Tunes?
Mm-hmm.
Hell?
Do you guys remember Tiny Toons?
Yes.
Bugs and Babs Bunny, no relation.
But yeah, Jim. So pretty
Oh, I
much,
got the name wrong. It's Giantism.
all you really missed was a little bit of discussion. It's gonna take him 3 weeks for the new settlers to essentially get together, get assembled, and travel through the plains before just before the months change the seasons change in a month. And some questions came up about, wait a minute, he looks like a dragonborn, but he said he's like 1,000 years old. Kratom has pieced it together that he is a dragon in disguise. / the shape of a dragonborn.
This guy with a -1 to his intelligence, so make of that what you will.
But again, with your bat story, I was able to piece that together easily enough. So, Jim, regarding any questions you have, or just anything you want to ask him about anything.
I have no idea what you just said.
He wants to know if you have any questions about or for the Dragon Man.
No?
Okay.
Cool.
Oh yeah, the other
We were
detail
saying we were
was...
going to go to Masara.
The other detail was that part of what's going to happen, and to give the people of Masara incentive to move in, would be Virgil's house is going to get melted down, turned into currency, and all of it is going to be given to those of Masara for their hardships. And as incentive to move back into what used to be Haraway and claim it as New Masara. So yeah. So you guys
Right.
basically have 3 weeks to get things taken care of. From what you can tell. So, at that point, he's gonna get called away to get back to work. He's going to essentially thank you and just come back to the mirror / relocate the mirror to wherever you see fit to try to get in touch with him. He will try to make time anytime that you guys call in, as long as he's not busy with a client.
Okay, I could not understand a word of that. Could anyone else?
Nope.
Fuck!
Yeah, no.
The true puzzle of these games is deciphering what Bobby is saying.
Why is my connection
More or
so
less.
bad?
Because Bobby already back in.
I think he just did.
Yeah, he
He
just
literally
did that.
just did.
No, I did.
Yeah, I heard Ian.
Oh, that was
on.
you?
How am I now? Am I a bit smoother?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh
I
my
disconnected
god!
from the hotspot, and why is this connection now better?
Like smooth jazz.
All right, so basically, we have 3 weeks until something bad happens, and we're gonna go to Masara. That's the
No,
gist of
3
what I
weeks
got.
until all the reinforcements come and something really good happens.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, we're so
Sorry,
used to
I
bad
know.
things happening.
I know, I know. Oh, gee, Bobby's trying to do good things. Assume bad things.
Assume
man,
everything
that'd be-
will go wrong immediately.
Man, this NPC is getting real friendly with us. When are they gonna stab us in the back?
Son of a...
That's
Also,
fantastic.
I forgot to be doing this for his voice the entire time.
Ugh!
For whose
What
voice?
the
The man
hell?
that we killed in one turn?
No, Gilbert Goldfrey.
Why? Do the accent. I want to hear how it sounds in that.
Yeah, do the accent with that voice.
Yeah,
we'll see
right.
if it's better.
Well, hello there, everybody.
No,
Hmm.
that sounds more demonic. I like it. Hello.
I was gonna say extraterrestrial.
Okay, I just figured a booming voice, but yeah, it actually
I
kinda
enjoy it,
makes
though.
sense for this form. Considering now you guys know he's a dragon, that would be his voice in Draconic form.
Oh, okay.
Well,
yeah,
yeah,
that I can get behind.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
God damn it.
So I guess we'll head to Masara then.
I hate my memory. But yeah, so essentially you guys have 3 weeks to take some time, go convince Masara, and do whatever it is you want to do.
Wait, what do we need to convince them of?
Moving
Go
into
back.
old Haraway / turn it into new Masara.
Oh, that's easy. Hey
Okay,
guys,
because I
Virgil's
thought they were
dead.
going to be. I
Yeah,
thought it was
right.
going to be cleansed first.
As is everyone else.
We found gold.
Good news.
Come
They
on,
flooded
guys.
the whole town. I
Good
watched.
news, everyone. I made the thing longer.
Come on,
Also,
guys. Let's
there's
go to
a new
Haraway where the streets are paved with gold.
And at least one of the houses is built.
No, they're getting rid of the house for the money.
No, that's right.
There's gold.
No,
in the
this can
house.
be yours.
Yeah, you
For the
guys are
low,
going to
low
get the
price
plot
of
of
living
land
with the
and
fact that
a
people
place to
died
go
here.
for you on it.
Do you think we should just talk to the town officials and then try and sway the townspeople ourselves, or just let them do that?
Is it bad? I kind of just want them to build a tent and be like, "Here you go, guys.
Oh my god.
We got lazy."
Wait, where?
All right. So, anyways,
At the new pot.
Off to
Moving
Masara,
things
I
forward.
have mail to send.
yeah. So you guys are a bit tired. The resistance mentioned. Yeah, we can, just in case there's any shadows still in the city. Like that's part of the reason why Goldfree's sending all the clerics is to make sure that they have enough magical light on hand to purge any hidden darkness. They recommend, it may suck, but we might as well just head back to the hideout just in case there's any remnants, like, still lingering within the city, because they don't know how many forces Virgil had.
Makes sense.
Well, wait, didn't it get abolished after
You guys killed everything you came across.
Yeah, I was gonna say we don't know for sure that everything's
That's
dead.
right.
Yeah,
we
because
killed
remember that
everything.
demon hung around even after Virgil was
Yeah.
killed?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I thought
Even
it
if it
died.
was just for a few seconds.
It was he hung around until he got killed.
About 6 seconds later,
Not
literally.
even. Yeah, he didn't even get a turn, I think. Anyways,
Oh,
No, he
yeah.
didn't.
uh,
I
I
killed,
have one more
we killed the
question
boss
for
so
Gilbert
fast.
before we go, though.
yeah, you guys killed the boss and then moved into that. Sorry, what was that? Mock?
I got one more thing I wanted to mention to Gilbert before we go.
All right. Yeah, as he's about to get up, you speed up. Oh, yes.
Wait, hold on one thing. So, after we took out Virgil, I saw him using this magical altar, and I thought it would be an interesting idea to maybe put him on it and throw him into some kind of eternal damnation for his actions. But I think that happened because he got
Oh,
sucked
like you
down
do.
it.
Oh, that's why you guys said the body was gone. Okay.
Yeah, it just.
Well, that's concerning, and we will definitely
yeah.
need to break the ever-living crap out of that.
Yeah, I want
Burrs,
to
do you
perform
have
some kind of
dispel magic at
exorcism.
all, just in case, just to try to disenchant the altar or break it a
Out
little
of-
bit more before you guys are done there?
Out of character, let me look that up real quick.
Yep, go for it.
Is that a third level spell? I think it's a third level spell. If it's a
Dispel
third level
magic?
spell,
I think it is.
okay, then I definitely wouldn't have access to it. Never mind then. Dave?
If you can't dispel the
Rusty
magic,
smash.
just
If I
break enough of
do,
it so it
I
doesn't work.
don't think I have it on me right now.
Okie doke.
But I could potentially after a long rest. Potentially.
Yeah, I think you use both of yours on.
I
two
know I
lights.
A long rest.
Well,
would be
dispel
nice.
magic's also a ritual spell too, so you can cast it like that. But yeah,
Oh, it is cool.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure it is.
I know
Magic.
detect magic is and stuff, but I don't know about dispel. It might
Yeah.
be.
Well, whatever. I don't have access to
Anyways.
it because I am
Um,
artificer.
So you guys, Gilbert takes his leave. The mirror goes dark, and you guys, as well as the resistance, walk over to go check on the now quiet other room where earlier it was just frustration and glass breaking, and you see Robin just on the side, just on her knees on the side of the main center of the altar, and yeah, it looks pretty smashed up. It, like, all the gems in it are broken into powder that just seems to be like fizzling away into nothing. The pillars have a couple dents on that, but they're obsidian pillars, so not much can really be done with that. But it looks thoroughly broken in the middle.
Well, maybe we don't have to have anybody cast anything on that.
So, how are you feeling?
Oh, give me 1 second.
While we're giving him a second, I'd like to correct myself. I was completely wrong. Dispel magic is not ritual.
Yeah, I looked that
Ah.
up too. Though I do have access to it. Again,
As
I would
does-
need a long rest.
As
Yeah.
do bards.
I
just
would like a
don't have it on
long
my
rest.
spell list. It's
Yep.
not in my known ones.
Yeah, I don't know how bard spells work, so.
You have to know it and have.
Does it charm people? They know it. Does it do
Pretty much.
something awesome? They know it.
Anyways,
I don't know about that.
Anywho.
I do feel a bit better thanks to that.
Really?
I don't know. Do you? You sound a bit more high pitched.
Crunk Shoulder Angel, is that you?
Oh, I
God,
cursed her
come
with
on.
helium.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That does sound like him, doesn't it?
I mean, I got a voice mod and everything to try to make things a little bit more.
Just do it. Just do it. I like it.
Yeah, no, just do it.
Surprise, guys.
That's awesome.
It
I
was
fucking love it.
cathartic. Just, I'm a little annoyed that I didn't get have the catharsis on him directly, but
Sorry.
Well, at least you got to cathart something.
I mean, I don't know. I mean,
Never
it looks like,
heard of the word used as a verb before.
it's like I've never seen it. It's like I'm pretty sure we all saw you cathart your knife right into his gut, but you know.
oh yes, that was satisfying.
I
Well,
think
that's
she's
good.
talking- I think she wants a bit more stabby next time.
Yeah,
Duly noted.
It's kind of hard when you grow up in hating that man and you want to be the one that ends it. Thankfully, I was. I appreciate that, but I was hoping for a little bit extra. Oh well.
That wouldn't have made you feel better. You think you want it, but doesn't always make you feel better.
Good cover, buddy.
Listen, you.
So yeah, then Bots is just like, yeah, so this has been a bit. I'm gonna head out. I've been too distracted. I need to just focus on trying to find my uncle. That was the whole point I started wandering around in the first place. I'm gonna go try to hunt him down. Maybe he's somewhere to the north or something.
Okay, you do you, buddy.
I'll come with you, just so it's not. You're not alone on the open road. I don't exactly have anywhere to go myself, anyways. So
He
yeah,
also
I'll
seems
follow you.
squishy.
But yeah, so and without any other word, they will head out and leave.
Well, nice hanging out with you.
You too.
It's been a pleasure.
Good luck.
Godspeed.
Okay,
Bye, buddy. I hope you find your uncle.
Don't forget to stop by the shop on your way out.
Maybe our paths will cross one day, but maybe not. We'll see what happens.
Yep.
And they
Look
leave.
for us on the plains.
All right. As they start walking, as
God, Jake. Anyways,
Okay,
I'm sorry, Jim.
I was gonna say, as they started walking away and they were finally out of decent range down the road, maybe slightly out of earshot, I look over to Rusty, just kind of like elbow him in the knee because I'm short. I look up to him, I'd be like, "What was the name of that spell guy again?"
Sorry, you cut out. What was the name of what?
I was like, "What was his name again?"
Fox, I think.
No, that doesn't sound right.
Guys, come on. I was trying to give him a respectful out. God damn it.
Well, glad I didn't get stabbed like that dad of hers. That could have gone way worse.
Which one? My stabbing?
Oh, no.
Who's stabbing who? Am I stabbing
Robin
you?
stabbing
Are you,
her
are
dad.
you are you stabbing me?
She seemed pretty mad.
Who's stabbing?
Anyways, time moves on.
With a
So-
severe and comfortable lack of stabbing.
Hooray!
With your loot from the vault secured in the bag of holding, which is getting a little full because of that, you guys,
Expand the bag of holding.
Is it?
it's a lot of gold.
You also took out some shavings from the wall, didn't you?
No, I tried to, but I never got anything substantial.
Oh.
Anyways, you guys head back to the wall, being a little sneaky along the way, but nothing seems to
Excuse me.
emerge or spot you. You guys hide out. The resistance do their nightly ritual of essentially, for the most part, sealing it up, but leaving just enough for air to be able to move in. And you guys are able to take your full rest. All your strength is restored, as well as all your normal benefits from the full rest.
Woohoo!
Woo!
When I did this full rest, I Made
does
a,
my strength come back?
made a hut.
Yeah, if you guys need a break, we could maybe try something. Wait, you
Wait,
need to step
what?
away, Ian?
Does my strength come back?
Oh, yeah, I said your strength comes back. I thought you said I need a break.
Oh, no, my strength.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I said your strength as well as all the other benefits of a long rest.
Bobby, whatever room we
I
slept in,
didn't
I
know if
offered.
that was permanent or not.
No, that's bad.
Okay.
Sorry,
I
what'd you
made
say?
I made Lehman's tiny hut when I was sleeping. I just want to say.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And if
Yeah.
anybody else wanted to join, I offered.
Well, it pretty much encompasses this entire room that you're in, so that works out.
Perfect.
So instead of them needing to seal things up that way, it lets the air in better, and they're like, oh, well, this is handy, cool, and just pass out
So-
on the long day.
No
So
more
does it-
kidnappings.
So does it appear like a little house like in Donkey Kong's
It's it's
64?
essentially a semi-transparent
right?
dome.
Oh. I
It's
want
kind
it
of
to
like a Halo
appear
bubble
like-
shield, just without the hexagons.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
so
we won't be having any more kidnappings.
Info.
Nobody has to rescue me this time.
Please don't. I
That's the
can only
goal.
perceive so much.
But yeah, you guys fully rest up, and it's the dawn of the next day.
Hooray, no dreams.
Yep. It's all
Funny you should mention
calm
that.
Dreams. No, you're fine. No dreams.
Pew.
But yeah, so no, we're done. Okay, so yeah, what do you guys want to do with this day?
Well, I think we discussed on going back to the town, right?
Yep, and Rook
That seems
will,
like the way to go.
Rook will mention, yeah, we'll stay here just in case there is anything else. We'll go around and start sweeping since we've been fighting these things for months. If we stay as a group, as we should be able to get out no problem, thanks to Beers' abilities. And we'll try to whittle down any forces that are here, so that the people, when you bring them back, won't be as at much of a risk. If they come back before the clerics arrive from Sorchaskala.
Okie dokie. Well, that sounds good. Guess we should head out then.
Be safe in your travels.
Be safe in your
Conquest.
you're chilling here.
Well, considering his turn undead works on them, they're already dead. We're just putting them out of their misery.
Oh, there you go. Well, this will be great for you guys too. Instead of living inside a wall, you can sleep in a bed.
Eventually, yes.
I mean, yeah. Probably do that now. There's a lot of houses, but
Yeah,
Guess
but
there's
we
probably
don't
some
know
corpses in them.
what's out there. That's the
Right.
whole point of us trying to clear things while you guys go take care of things outside.
all right, we will do
Our
that.
job
And we'll
isn't
leave
done
you with
yet.
your paranoia.
And you guys head off. Alright, so out in the wilds, give me 1 second, because are you guys going at a rapid pace, or are you guys just going to take a leisurely stroll because of everything that's been going on?
I mean, we've got like 2 weeks, and I think it only took us about a day to get from to and fro. So
Yeah, you guys got there
Leisurely is
in
fine.
just under 2 days, because you guys took a moderately quick pace, and the timing of when you left worked out pretty well. So you only had 1 camp. So if you go at a very casual pace, you'd either camp a second time or get into town a little tired.
And at what pace is that?
At like a casual walking pace. But like if you guys like mixed in joggings for a good while, you'd be able to have only 1 camp night.
All right, get in the backpack.
Yeah,
We'll
let's
jog
speed
down.
things
No,
up a little.
You'll be able to go fast enough without putting them in the backpack to do
I
only
know.
1 camp.
I turn into a cliched personal trainer.
Oh shit. No, you should turn into the Wii Fit. person.
Yes.
I'll loot this up.
No, in reality though, I'm still disguised as the old man,
Yep.
and I have the lute instead of the guitar.
But yeah, I'll say for this past day, Sentil made good berries for everybody, so that you guys don't have to worry about a ration. But as you guys finish up here,
Do
it's,
good berries have an expiration date?
1 day.
yeah, 24 hours.
Oh, okay. So all the good berries I have are long since dead.
/ you use them this morning.
Oh, okay.
But yeah. So yeah, you guys, it's getting late, the sun is setting, and you know you're maybe about halfway back, maybe a little less than halfway back to Masara.
Cool.
And
You guys want to stop here at McCamp?
Sure.
All right. So I think I should use my hut spell again, just so we're not ambushed. Something I'd like to avoid going forward. Sound good to everybody?
Yeah.
Yep, so go ahead and set yourselves up.
Da, 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 da. I know I sound a little paranoid.
Who moved
But-
my piece?
Me.
Why?
Because I had it on lock earlier to prevent you from moving it.
God damn it!
Dave, where are you?
Yeah, there he is.
Uh-huh.
Yay.
All right. So I feel like, can anybody get a full rest out of less than 8 hours? I feel like maybe, even though we're inside the hut, I feel like somebody's gonna try and sneak up on us. It's impervious, but
Yeah, can't
You know,
no one sneak inside the hut?
Rusty has mentioned before that that he has sentry mode, and the people who are inside the hut when you cast it can enter and exit at their leisure. No other entities can enter. But if you, as the caster, leave the hut, then it is immediately dispelled.
Yep.
But you know it should be impervious.
all right. Well, it's safe. I just want to see if anybody tries to approach us. But it is up to you if you want to keep your sentry mode on.
No, that's just what he does as his rest.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Cool. All right. We'll be safe then.
So you
Go on
just
the
gotta
side
set
of
up
the
in
road
middle
here.
of the road.
No, side of the road. You guys want to go into the trees a little bit?
That
Yeah,
would
sure.
probably be best.
Oh, what time of day is it?
It is
Getting to
the
be
sun is
nighttime,
setting,
right?
Okay.
So it is in the evening.
Nope.
It's
But
fine.
Considering what Rook had mentioned, that's why I'm saying it's setting now, not it's midnight.
Can I poke around a little bit for herbs?
Yeah, go for it. Roll a survival check.
Alrighty.
What type of herbs are you looking to go for?
Tea and healing potion.
All right.
We'll let him
That's,
gather his dinner.
Where's survival? +4, so that's 21.
All right. Since you didn't camp at the same spot along the trail, you camped at a bit of an offset. You last time didn't have any luck finding any herbs, as everything around Masara seemed to be pit clean a while back. But
Mhm.
you get lucky and you find about 30 gold's worth of healing herbs, and you get a pretty decent amount of spices. Probably enough for 3 kettles of tea.
Right.
Oh,
That's a lot of tea.
You got a good roll.
That and tea doesn't need a lot in order to make a batch.
That
I'll
too.
need. It's like I'll need tea to concentrate on what I want to do for the evening.
All right.
For I would like to use my alchemic set to try to make a basic healing potion.
Okay. Roll.
Can I
do
ass-
wonder, Jim.
Can I assist him with some of the herbs that I found?
Yeah, I will let that happen. So you have
Yeah.
advantage, Orin.
Okay, cool. And because it's a tool I am proficient with,
So how much
That's
GP
perfect.
worth of healing herbs am I giving him? Am I just giving him the whole thing?
We'll see what happens based off of the roll, because
I
the
would
roll
like- I was-
determines
I-
both how much it is and how potent it is.
I was gonna say I would also like to note that I do have enough ingredients to make 2 batches of basic healing potions.
Excuse me.
Had them for not a long while. But yeah. Anyways. Oh, that's right. I have advantage. Where's my other D20? There's my other D20. Here you are.
Yeah.
Come here, you.
I trade them, especially with
I
this
swear to
stuff.
Son of
Wow. What is this?
a Jesus.
No.
Oh, well, yeah, that's an 18. Yep. Okay, I guess that's the new number. All right, let's go with that.
No, it was the 9. But
Okay.
your
Okay.
bonuses.
18. Yeah. Anyways. Yeah. 18 plus 9. That's 21.
haha.
That's 12. It's 12.
Okay, so 12. All right, you use up 20 gold's worth, and you get most of the way through a potion. Like it's just most of the way done. You're probably gonna let it sit overnight. or you can do another check to try to finish it right now.
Depends. I got that tea yet?
Let's see. What kind of tea?
Stop rolling my dice, Ian. You motherfucker.
You wasted a nat 20.
Yep. You son of a bitch.
That is not how that works.
It's absolutely how it works,
I
Jake.
rolled it. I wasted one of mine at 20. It's fine.
Oh, true.
All right.
On
So-
my dice.
Since things aren't going very well, Orin, I assume, speeds up. Hey, can I have some of that tea?
Yeah.
So, Kratom,
Yes.
you gonna brew tea?
Sure. I'll put on a kettle.
All right. So you put on one of the kettles and brew enough tea for everybody.
Yay.
I will just throw it on my
You
face.
get tea. Everyone gets tea.
A tiny bit of rust forms on your face.
It's not that bad.
I'll have some too.
All right. So how much herbs did
I-
I give him again?
20 gold.
20 gold worth. Okay.
I enjoy this tea.
All right. So, you have
It feels good on my human eyes.
Orin, you have a mostly completed potion, but you can make another roll to finish it now, or put things away and continue things later.
I'll roll again with my cup of tea.
I look over at Orin and I'm like, are you making tea too?
You could say that.
Can I try some?
That's a 22.
All right.
Fuck.
You want
So-
22 gold for it? That's a little steep.
Haha. For 20 more gold's worth of healing ingredients, you put it in, and you get a healing potion that does 2d4 plus your modifier. What would your modifier for that type of thing be? I believe an int.
Int, yeah, it's an
Yeah.
int modifier.
All right, plus that, plus 1.
Okay, hold on. So let me see. So
Plus one.
one potion, and then it's gonna be what?
Oh my
actually,
God.
2d4
specify.
plus int plus 1.
Oh, hold on. One healing potion, and then you said
2d4
2d4
Plus 5.
plus. And there's like plus int plus 1.
Yep,
Which
and
is
your
plus
current
5.
int, so you can just mix that together like Dean was saying for the plus 5.
Yeah, I know, but I would rather have that
For
as
the
a
clarification.
yeah.
All right,
Damn. That is. Damn.
you got good rolls with the second one.
Now, what I
I-
want to ask is, just because the way you keep phrasing it, like X amount of gold, I didn't have like my healing ingredients listed as how much gold they were worth. I just have it listed as 2 batches of healing potion ingredients because that's how I bought them from Mama Yaba. I had
You
specifically
spent
asked her
100
for
gold's worth on that.
that. No, what I'm saying is that doesn't tell me anything, Bobby.
How many batches does he lose?
Because I have 2 batches of healing potion ingredients that I bought from Mama Yaba.
Yeah, which would have been 100. So you
Like that.
used
That was
20.
like I had specifically like phrased it in like a I'd like to have enough to make 2 potions worth. So I have it written in my inventory as 2 batches of
Okay,
healing
okay,
potion
yeah.
ingredients.
So essentially, that was the equivalent of 100 gold's worth. But because of the rolls in brewing, you've essentially used 20 of Kratom's, unless he wanted to contribute the other 10, and then the remainder would have come out of those supplies.
But what I'm asking is, what do I write?
Just all right.
So I'd
Because
say-
again,
did you
because my
supply the other
inventory
10 that you found?
Yeah. Well, no, Bobby. What I'm saying is, you keep telling me, oh yeah, it costs you X amount of gold's worth of supplies.
He
I
wrote
don't
down.
have that listed.
He doesn't have his listed as so
There's
much
no-
gold
there's no-
worth
yeah.
of supplies. It's enough to make 2 healing potions.
Yeah. And
Like,
I'm
literally
saying
my-
that's
my
the
inven-
equivalent of 100 gold's worth.
Okay, so we can change
Okay,
that to
that's-
100 gold.
That's what I was
Okay,
trying
that's
to
what I was
convey
getting
earlier.
confused about.
Sorry. Yeah. 2 normal healing potions would be 100 gold. So that's how much you had of it.
Yep.
But because of the rolls, you've essentially made a
Okay.
slightly better one for 40 gold. Because you guys had decent on the second half
Okay,
of the
but
rolls.
didn't I think 20? I was gonna say,
Yeah.
but 20 of that came from what?
From the ones
Kratom
that Kratom
found.
just found. Speaking of
So
which,
then I
Brandon,
found-
do you
so I spent-
contribute the
so I
other
spent
10
20.
towards this, or do you keep the other 10 for yourself?
I would keep the other 10 for myself.
Okay, so
Okay.
then you used up 20 of
So
your
I have
own
80
resource.
left.
Correct.
Yeah. So I have. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Sounds like we're all good now. Awesome. All right, and it's getting late, so it's time to cast that dome and get a rest, unless there's something else anybody else wants to do. Dirt while they were brewing the potion. Rusty or Mott.
I'm good.
I will just be sitting in deep contemplation.
Okay. So you guys all group
I'll
up.
just be sitting there playing my lute while we're drinking tea, I guess.
Nice.
Hmm?
So it's on a rest without
What,
some
Bobby?
rest effects needing to happen.
Exactly.
So you guys all turn in for the night. Mott, you
I cast Layman's Tiny Hut.
Yep.
Ritual.
Perfect. Yeah, that would have perfectly worked out with while they were finishing up the potion.
Sweet.
And you guys settle in. So, Rusty, what is your passive perception?
Passive perception is a 14.
Okay. So throughout the night, you see one large rat just like steer up to the dome, tap on it a couple times, like, yeah, I want to take straps, and then gives up and goes away.
Clearly a polymorph druid looking for his next victim.
It's a were rat.
Nothing
Oh,
for
no.
for the next
No,
couple
that'd be more
hours.
humanoid.
And then during the last 2 hours of your rest, because you only need 6 hours, you see a pack of young wolves like get a little close, but they seem very hesitant. And then like if you like move your head slightly to like follow their path, then they just bolt back into the woods. And your 6 hours finish, no problem. You finish your rest. The rest of your companions
Yay!
need 2 more hours.
I finally got some rest.
Do you do anything with the 2 hours, or you just wait?
I think I will leave the dome and search around.
Oh,
Okay.
fuck.
Go ahead. What are you gonna be searching for?
Um,
Or are you gonna be
if
thinking?
people have passed, thinking mainly, but also if people pass by or just
Okay. That would be a survival check to see what has passed by on the path, because you didn't see anything go by on the path during your rest.
yeah. Oh God. Survival. What did I get?
Near the bottom.
8, 10.
Yeah, with the 10, it's you pretty much find the footsteps of your companions from both ways, but nothing else really.
All right. Neat.
And as you have your contemplation, you hear the bubble, and everybody else wakes up.
It's a good alarm clock.
Actually,
It's probably
Oh,
do I have an effect for this?
where's the robot?
Ah, damn it. Fuck. Never mind. Alright, anyways. Yeah, you guys wake up, and Rusty is nearby, but he's not in where the bubble was.
Oh, hey, man. What you doing over there?
just scouting the area, making sure we're still all right. I
Cool,
figured
cool.
you guys were still sleeping, so
You're
might
not
as well
wrong.
take the initiative.
This was a good idea. Alright. You guys want to move on?
Yeah, it sounds like a good idea.
Cool.
Don't want to linger too long.
Alrighty.
Alright.
Give me 1 second, just replying to Jesse.
You're what now?
He's replying to Jesse.
Oh. I thought you said finding him. I was like, what?
Alright. So then, and you spend pretty much the next day traveling again, and as night is falling, you keep. Yeah, that was the effect I was going for last time. I'm bad at that noise, alright? I tried putting on a
That's
filter, but I
fine.
forgot to turn it on.
Same.
You don't need a filter. All you need is your mouth.
I can't do that. Anyways, you guys get to Masara as it is late. There is a small faint glow, and there's one small pillar of smoke in the distance. But the lights are on, and you see a couple guards at the gate as you approach.
Hey guys, what's up with the smoke?
Oh, you guys are back. Oh, okay. Wow, great. Oh, it's been crazy. We got sieged by a troop of goblins and kobolds. Thankfully, we're all right.
Again.
Yeah, they've apparently moved south and are headed this way. We held off the first wave at least.
Oh,
Wonderful.
interesting stuff.
Yeah, they just left a couple hours ago.
They left, or you
We fought them
showed
off.
them the door? Oh, there you go.
Like, the remaining survivors left, and he points around the far end of the wall, and you see to, like, the northern half, there's, in the distance, a couple of goblin bodies and kobold bodies.
Cool. Nice.
Not too
Well,
many
glad
casualties,
things didn't
but,
go too much to shit.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've all accumulated here, and we've got these walls as he, like, nods against, like, the, like maybe 8 feet high, roughly put together stone walls. Like, it's
You know
not
they're better
the
than
city.
Somebody's gonna have to tell him.
Yeah. Now, is this the captain we're talking to, or just a regular guard?
just a guard on the perimeter.
It's like, okay.
Where
well,
is your captain?
yeah, it's like, yeah, we have some we have good news and strange news for him.
Okay. Josh, I think should be at the upstairs house above the
Hello?
the tavern.
Seems I've shocked him.
God damn it! Come on in.
We can hear you.
You can?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I was-
we just didn't hear anything for a second.
Yeah. Oh, Drock.
I guess this guy
yeah,
doesn't like good
he's. Oh, now I'm going red again. Can you still hear me?
Oh, they can still hear you.
Okay. Oh yeah. Drock. He's at the.
Just don't pay attention to it. Maybe it'll go away.
Gee willikers, Mr. Gnome. He's over this way. Let's go.
Drock should be above the tavern in the other guard barracks. Well, kind of barracks. We all have our own homes.
Okay.
But use the outpost. So, you guys can meet him there.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, we know our way there. Let's go.
He and Brunta
Huzzah!
kind of took most of the hits.
And
for
I
us.
hope you're ready to move.
Yeah, give me a
The board
second.
certainly isn't.
Give me a second.
Oh yeah, I can't move my guy.
My character is floating.
Oh,
There
oh,
he
oh,
goes.
now I am. Do. Moving better than it was last week.
Yeah, the guard barrack above the tilted shield.
Oh yeah.
What?
You okay there?
No, my character was over here.
Oh,
Anyways,
walking
yeah.
past the bar.
You guys head into the
going
bar.
upstairs.
It's a little lively with a bunch of guards. A handful of them have some minor wounds that are patched up. And when you head upstairs,
Back to the rec center.
Was and 7 days ago.
yeah, you find Drock in the meeting hall. He's essentially like the stage has been turned into more beds. The chairs are moved out to the side, and more beds have been set up here. There's a couple people that are resting, but they're still awake.
I wanted to be the priest. What are you doing, Orin?
You wouldn't know how to run a sermon.
Kratom's gonna hang out in the bar downstairs.
Why?
I don't know.
Well,
You
'cause
didn't
that's
move
where
your
your
guy.
Well, what do they have against Nordichans?
Nothing. You just haven't moved your character over.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But yeah, so he's essentially up by the
Yeah.
podium. The chairs are all moved to the side. There's a bunch of people just like a bunch of bedrolls just spread out in this room. A couple of guards that are up here seem to have a bit more serious injuries, but are alive. And, oh, you're back. How are things at Haraway?
Better
Well-
than here, apparently.
Yeah, that's debatable.
True.
It's kind of a long story. Do you have some time to sit down and we can properly tell you this?
As long as the
How do I phrase this?
goblins and
How
kobolds
many
don't come
people
back
do you remember
again.
being alive there?
Yeah. So let me
How-
put it to you like this. I'm gonna
how
give it
do
to
you
you
feel about
briefly.
a new
Do you
city?
see how? I was gonna say. Do you see how there's people here?
Yeah.
There's nobody there.
No,
Nobody?
there's 4.
Well, no,
There's
we
four
have 4
people.
people. What's left of the resistance?
4.
On the bright side, the problem is fixed. Virgil
What
is
the
dead.
fuck? He's dead.
The dead people problem is not fixed, but the people-
Now, to be fair,
The
when I
murder.
say
How are we
Virgil is
gonna get
dead,
help from now?
no, we've got that covered too.
What?
Mr. Goldfried,
The
Mr.
resistance is going
Goldfried
to reproduce.
is well, the resistance is keeping an eye on the town right now, but Mr. Goldfried is coming in to fix the town, and then we also told him about the issues here, and he has a proposition, which is why we would like a moment to properly speak with you.
Okay. He sits on the edge of the podium and just hands on top of his head like, holy shit, this is a long ass day. And you can see that he's got some
You're
battle
telling us.
scars and like recently bandaged wounds. Like he winces as he puts his hands up and like, oh fuck, right. Lowers his left
How
hand
do
down
you
a bit.
feel about moving the city to there?
Well, maybe not the city, maybe just the people.
How would you like New
Can you not have to
Mastara?
deal with it?
It's a lot more secure, especially with the crazy murderer that's not there anymore.
I.e.
So, hold
Virgil.
on.
The
so-
crazy
look,
murder.
How
Let's-
did
let's-
Virgil
let's-
kill the city?
He was using spooky, evil shadow magic and sacrificing people of the town for power, and he was he was sacrificing people, summoning shadow demons, using them to either kill more people or drag more people back to his mansion that he could then in turn sacrifice for an attempt for more power. Eventually, it seems like it stopped working because he seemed rather desperate when we found him.
He
kept
went all
rubbing
kinds of
blood
crazy.
He kept rubbing blood on the coin, and it was just so weird.
And he had an altar, and unfortunately, we were not quick enough to save
can
the
you-
last of his hostages, if you will.
And can you believe this guy could only afford Bronze House?
Oh yeah, that's the other thing. He took all the wealth in the city, made the exterior of the house out of solid bronze, the floors out of solid silver, and the walls out of solid gold.
I knew he was an asshole, but
Oh no, he was
holy
crazy.
Shit.
Last time you saw him, he was a high elf, right?
Yeah. What?
Yeah,
What?
he was a drow when we found him.
But he did turn back into an high elf after he died.
What's a drow?
Okay, it's like I'm gonna turn to the side and look to us and be like, okay, so imagine a regular elf, right? Now make their skin really blue and make their eyes red, and they like to live underground.
What's an elf?
Show in the 80s.
Point to him up and be like, we can talk about this
And
later.
yet you wanted to roll to try to know what a dragon was. Fuck you, Ian.
Look. All right.
We're laughing. Meanwhile, Drock, what the shit is happening in this world? You said it's
know,
more
you tell
defendable, but he killed every...
Well, Virgil is dead because, I mean, think about it. It was less defendable for them because they had something on the inside screwing with everything. Anyways, Mr. Goldfried, you know Mr. Goldfried, right?
I'd heard of him. He was the one at the city to the west.
Yeah,
was
big
the
rich
main
aristocrat,
trades.
9 foot tall gold dragon man.
That's what he is? Damn.
Sometimes appears as a dragonborn.
I was more of a guard. I was never much on the politics or the trading side of
Anyways.
things. But yeah.
It's
You know
like,
what?
he's a bad-
anyways,
let's
he's
take
sending
this-
about he sent,
Before you finish, this is too much for me. I'm gonna call a council meeting. You lot come with me.
You guys have a council?
A small one.
You have meetings?
Yes, good.
It's more of a town meeting. And let me flip back to my notes because I had to prep this in case you guys left to go get reinforcements from Masara before going to fight Virgil.
You have a town?
Fuck you.
Andy.
Where the fuck is it?
It's like, look, I know you live in the woods most of the time, but come on.
I know in the
It's
big
called
book.
it's a thing I bring over from my culture. They're called jokes. You may have heard of them.
No, please tell me more.
Oh my god, where the fuck is it?
There's a thing where I come from. It's called sandbagging. We do it to jokes sometimes.
Sounds like an awfully cruel practice.
Funny
On occasion.
joke.
Okay. Okay. So, we're gonna ignore the map for now because I didn't build this. But he's essentially gonna bring you to a very small one-room cottage, essentially, and he's gonna essentially tap on a couple doors along the way. Be like, "Town meeting. It's gonna be important. You guys are gonna want to hear this." And he does that to He does that to 3 doors on the way to the little house and sets you up with chairs. In the meantime, on one side of the table. Yeah, so this is perfect. Yeah, he sets up four chairs for you guys on one side of the table and takes the seat on the other side of the table as a couple other people wander in. Oh, I was just going to try to get to bed after all that nonsense of today. As a
Oh, you're gonna have more nonsense, so shut up and sit down.
yeah, the first person that walks in says that, and they look human and had a little bit of a kind of a lisp. Oh yeah, this is Crip. He's the treasurer at Drock explains as he enters, and our financial planner for the city.
That's rude.
Wait, what?
It's like you named the guy with a lisp Crip.
I think he said crypt keeper.
Oh, okay.
C-R-I-P-K
I only
is
got
his name. Crypt.
Oh, crick. Like a cricket?
C-R-I-P-K. Crypt.
It's free real estate.
God damn it.
I'm gonna go there and agree with you, Dave.
Yep.
But yeah. Well, how about you just shut up then?
Fine. Don't take the free real estate.
My name's my name. I live with it. Anyways, as he looks towards you a little bit, you notice he's got some slitted eyes.
Slitted?
Yep.
As in...
Like Brock
Like
from Pokemon?
No. That would be closed.
But
eyes.
like, are you talking like the more kind of like narrow shape of
Yes.
like certain elves?
Well, not elves, no, but yes, the narrow shape that's vertical. Like his pupil is a vertical oval that's like
Anywho.
pointed. Anyways, yeah. Next person that walks in. This has been a long enough day, and you want to call a town meeting? What's going on here? Enters a tabby cat looking tabaxi. And then finally,
Is their name Bubbles?
The name's Marie.
Ah,
Marie Tabitha.
hello.
Or Marie Tabitha. So you lot are the one that we had to get Crip to finally give up enough gold to pay for your services.
Yep.
Yep.
In return, we're giving you a town. Or a city.
Roll
We
Constitution
haven't-
saving throws and resist the
What-
urge to pet.
Well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
And as Kratom was saying, we're going to be a town. No, wait, a city. And then in comes a slightly older-looking human fella, and he is just like the epitome of a farmer with like permanently dirty clothes that just look like he's just always out in the field working. And what, pray tell, do you mean a city?
We'll get to that when the council is fully gathered.
Seems we're here. And the four of them sit down.
Okay, where do we begin? Ah, yes, going to the city that you guys sent that the captain humbly requested us to go seek Virgil out to.
One was left there.
Yeah, so let's get this kind of in order here.
Yeah,
So
how
when we
is
first
that
originally,
asshole doing?
he's quite
He's
dead.
Very dead.
Hooray!
You're welcome.
We can't really produce a corpse for you
Fuck.
because someone flushed it by mistake.
We'll get to that. Anyways,
It was no one's fault.
Marie just
Yeah.
is like, hold up a finger for a second, and then just is like,
just-
okay then.
okay,
And puts her head
we're
down.
getting ahead of ourselves. It's like we're getting ahead of ourselves here. So, anyways,
I just
When we
want to
originally-
establish
when we-
that there's no blame about it.
when we originally approached the city, we had noticed that that the farms outside the town seemed completely abandoned. And as we
What a
approached
damn shame.
And as we approached the main gates, we also noticed that there were no guards on duty or nobody trying to enter or exit the city. We had somebody with us that knew a secret entrance into the city through the walls, and we entered that way. At which point we encountered two members of the resistance, who then led us to the other two members, and they informed us that over the last 6 months, Virgil, shortly after the time you all left the city, Virgil went completely bonkers. He would start he would start using his charging obscene taxes and debts, get people in debt, and then to pay off that debt, he would hire them onto his crew for his mansion, like butlers,
He was doing
gardeners,
that
etc.
for years. That fucking-
Except they would disappear and never be seen again. And when people asked about it,
Oh.
they'd get pretty much no response. So by the time we got there, though, he had been using the resistance. Like I said, was only down to 4 people remaining, and he had been using. And they informed us that Virgil had somehow control of these bizarre shadow monsters that had been used to either wrangle up more people that were still left, or kill them off, such as members of the resistance. We waited till morning, and we went and stormed stormed his mansion. There was nobody in the town at all as we walked. We got into the mansion uncontested.
Not a single
Upon entering,
soul. Sorry.
upon entering the mansion, it was dark inside. His taste is also tacky. If you would like to describe my fine bardic friend.
Yeah, but you could say that. There was just a lot of gold on the walls and
Yeah.
bronze on the outside walls, silver on the floor.
But
I don't know where his design scheme came from. Really,
Yeah,
it looked
basi-
like it was designed by like I don't even know.
As you mentioned
Basic-
that design, you see Crypt get like he Salve's a little like wipes a little and just so tacky.
Anyways, yes, solid. The exterior was made of solid bronze. The floors were made of solid silver, and the walls were made of solid gold. It looked horrendous. Anyways,
that's your opinion.
Sounds like some failed hotel tycoon with
Yeah,
tiny
it's
hands.
also a horrendous waste of money. Anyways,
No worries, it's all going to be melted down and given to you.
Can you imagine if someone just
What?
used heat metal in that place? Man.
Like as soon Kratom, as soon as you say that, you see Crypt's eyes like the slits widen like a cat on catnip, and just he
my
leans forward.
calm down, Cujo.
Well,
We're getting rich.
it's going to be given to the town as a whole.
Bobby, one thing I wanted to
He pouts
just
a little
mention,
and
like,
just slides back, crosses his arms.
Out
Which
of
means you get some.
character,
There's a lot there.
the last time they saw us, we had 2 other members, and they saw Hoople before, and now I'm just an
Oh,
old
you
guy.
didn't shift back to Hoople, right?
No, yeah. When they ask about that, I have a plan for it.
Yeah.
Well,
Drock was
isn't
like hesitant because you guys were missing the 2 members. He's assuming the worst.
Anywho,
So,
so
Mott?
are you one of the resistance members? He says, pointing to you, especially after you chimed in for a minute.
Well, I am now. They rescued me. I was one of the prisoners. Name's Jenkins.
I thought you guys said that they We're all dead. Oh, okay.
Save for me.
There's like a small handful.
Okay.
No, pretty sure
That's-
Jenkins was the only one.
Few of our members decided to go their separate ways, including Fox, Robin, and Hoople.
Well, Mod,
they're alive. They just
don't
not
you still have
Jenkins.
that? Or Jakin, excuse me. Don't you still have that guitar strapped on your back?
No, that's
No,
in
I
the
have
bag
a
of
loot
holding.
now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
guitar got put away.
They decided after we resolved everything, they decided to branch off onto their own ventures. Anyways, continuing, upon entering the mansion, he locked the doors behind us with some of his little shadow specters. The room was very dark, but our more down to earth friend over here, as I point to Kratom, was able to resolve that issue with some nifty magic. Anyways,
I
the
don't know
shadow.
how he did it, but
Alternate
just brought
timeline. He
us
casts
fun.
sunlight and blinds the entire room. Anyways, sorry. Go ahead.
Anyways, so he had a large number of these shadow monsters that we had been informed about. He quickly ran out of the room after shortly at the beginning of the fight. We took out those things, broke into another room on the second floor, and that's where we found some more shadow things. Dealt with them. We heard a shriek. Ran down the hallway there and found that he had just finished sacrificing somebody to the altar.
Multiple people.
Marie just
It's like
covers her mouth with her
myself and
hands.
my large me and my large metallic companion over here
I
managed to use invisibility to sneak up on him and launch a starting attack. But and then after that, the rest of the group moved in, cleaned up. We dispatched of Mr. Virgil, as he had been sacrificed. There wasn't much of a point. He was clearly in a situation where he would not be taken alive. With the resistance aid, we took him out, and then
was it with the 8 though?
We were moral support.
yeah, I was trying to be nice about it.
Hey, you wouldn't be invisible if it weren't for me.
I say that out of character, by the way.
Yeah.
Just so I'm not like
I
they were
figured.
useless.
Afterwards, after dealing with him, somehow or another, his body ended up getting. One of our members that was with us originally, the young woman named Robin. Turns out, she was his daughter of some variety.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that was
she got
Drod
the,
says as he's like, and shaking his
And
his head.
she made sure she got the finishing blow, and afterwards his body, which by the way, when he was alive, he was looking like a drow rather than a high elf.
That gets all of them to raise an eyebrow.
After she finished him off, he slowly turned back into a high elf, but then his body kind of fell over onto the altar, at which point it seemed as if the altar consumed him through a dark void.
Tabitha's just got her hands over her mouth like, and
Yep.
the tough and gritty looking farmer just stands up for a second, walks outside, walks back in, sits back down.
I hope you cleaned up after yourself.
Anyways,
Someone's going to slip in that.
Hey, why don't you polymorph into a dog and go clean it up?
I will end you.
anywho,
And I'll make it
afterward,
look like a bloody accident too.
afterwards, we continued exploring the remainder of the mansion. We weren't able to find any other survivors, though we were able to find a rather grim holding cell for magic users. And then we also in his bedroom we found a two-way scrying mirror that clearly hadn't been used in some time, and we're able to contact Mr. Guilford Goldfried.
Hello.
Oh, that
Rather,
asshole.
Well, you
Crip
see,
says as
you
he's
call
just
him
like,
as like you say that, but you might have an opinion change in a moment, as we informed him of what happened, and he was aghast as you were by the situation at hand. He has agreed to send, I believe it was it 300 clerics?
100.
Yes.
100. Sorry, my numbers are wrong. 100 clerics. He's going to send a battalion of 100 clerics to make sure the city is absolutely cleansed of whatever remaining shadow fiends there might be left. We took out everything that we saw, but there might have been some stragglers hiding in other parts of the city. And then he would like to try to rebuild the city in some way, and we did inform him of the city of Masara and its current issues and the recent attacks on the other nearby towns. And he has a proposition. He would like he would like to request if you and your people would like to move back to Haraway, but rename the city as New Masara, as the city itself already has much superior defenses from external threats, significantly stronger and higher walls than what are currently available, along with just the fact that it's a more convenient trade hub of a city, among other things. And he would
Gotten a
also
ton of money off the offset.
yes, they're currently tearing down the mansion and will be melting it down to redistribute the wealth to those that come back to the city to help repopulate it.
First come, first serve. Better hurry.
The 4 resistance
Heck
members
no.
can't repopulate by themselves. They're all dudes.
Of all people, Marie
They
did
could
this as a
adopt.
joke.
But yeah, so that's pretty much the situation. Mr. Goldfried would like to help rebuild the city, and hearing of your current issues, he would also like it, requests if you would be willing to move back to the soon-to-be newly dubbed New Masara, if so be it.
Well, considering the events of today, Drot says as he stands up, this seems like our saving grace at this point. Every attempt we've made to expand has fallen, and now those forces have been coming for us. And they
So we've
went to
heard.
go get us help. And
It also
well,
seems like very inconvenient timing.
fuck you. That's the DM speaking. Fuck you. Plot's not a plot, asshole.
Man, it sure is convenient that this whole city completely built and ready to fortify is ready to go and for new people. Such a convenient.
Honestly, that was not even planned from the beginning. That just worked out. I'm like, wait a minute, I have this. This is perfect motivation for this, to give you guys a hub city.
Anywho,
Yeah. Anyways.
I've rambled on enough. If there's anything else any of my other lovely compatriots would like to chime in about before we leave you to your before the
Decisions.
council reaches a consensus, if you will.
Hey, Kratom, you got any more of that tea?
I've got 2 more kettles worth. If people would like to wait for tea.
I would love some teas. Marie pipes
Could
up,
share it with a nice
kind of
council.
like bouncing in her seat a little bit.
Oh, okay. I start building a little fire in the middle of the room.
Middle of the room is the table, so you do it in the corner.
No. I do it on the table.
Oh, okay. Yes,
Just
put
put
it
it
on
on
top of
the
the
table.
wooden
As
table.
fire.
Well, this is pleasant.
Well, what's the floor?
Also
Wood.
wood.
There you go. I put it on the table.
Fair enough.
Does anyone know prestidigitation? We can keep it
I
safe.
Oh my
I mean,
God.
I know I have druid craft ready, so I can both light the
Yeah.
fire and turn it off.
Nice.
So
So
using
am I
your
going
magic-
through? I imagine I go through both kettles if I'm serving tea to everybody.
Nah,
both-
I'd say you
both
just have
kettles
one more
worth.
afterwards. You
Oh,
only
okay.
need one more, especially if Rusty skips his. You would only need the one.
No, I'm not going to skip mine.
Oh, God damn it. But yeah, no.
You know what? I'll screw it. I'll use both of them.
All right. You use both. You give everyone a strong dose of
Yes.
caffeine and
I
relaxation.
splash it on my face.
Marie
Nice black
giggles.
tea.
Joe, the farmer shakes his head. What a waste of the Earth's resources. And Drock is just used to it at this point. He doesn't bat an eye at that. Crypt is just okay.
Why can't
You
I
have to make the
enjoy
tea
tea?
somewhere.
He enjoys it in
Why
his
doesn't
own
he
way.
just drink it?
I was like, oh, let me answer that for you. I pull out a wrench. Clank, clank.
Echo.
No.
Hold on. Wait, give it a second.
Wait, does my mouth move?
I would assume so. I mean, if we're going by the picture of your character, you clearly have jaw hinge joints.
True.
Though he could still speak without moving them, and it could just be there
Exactly.
for other reasons.
So
I
will leave
suppose
that
it's
one
your
up to
body,
Robin.
your right to choose.
Um. All right, I have it.
I tried to get it metallic echo to be a sound.
I heard it. I was like, oh.
All right, I have it. I just do not use it. I do have a mouth. I just refuse to use it because I think it's like oil or something,
Oh my god.
or a lubricant.
Anywho.
All right, strange man. Or sorry. All right, strange man. Anyways, yeah. Drought's like, yeah, no, I'm definitely gonna want to, like they said, it's something to be well defended, especially once Mr. Goldfree's forces come in and clear it out, and that's what we need. Is we don't have the guardsmen. We've lost so many from those who volunteered to defend the other settlements, and we're running as thin as it is, and with the wounded from today's battle, we could be too vulnerable to more attacks. They'll just whittle us down to nothing and take us out too. But if we move there, we can have a chance at surviving. We will
True.
have help. Marie stands up. Well, you got 2 of the votes, and I, as mayor of this little town, I think we should definitely move. She looks to.
There was a mayor?
The whole
That's
time?
me. Oh wait,
This whole time we've just been reporting to the captain.
that's me.
We didn't get that high up on the food chain.
You're also the captain.
Fuck you.
I put a voice
I
control on
am
one time.
council.
Oh, God damn it. What a fucking mess session. I'm
having
sorry.
having fun, Ian.
Fine. I guess I'm getting some money out of this anyway. I just noticed what's happening.
Wait, hold on. Can I make a check to see if I can figure out what Mr. Hissman is?
Yep. Go ahead and
Can I
make
also do that?
I guess it would be a nature check, that or a history. Wait, nature check.
Nature check. Okay, what is nature? Nature is intelligence. Yay. That's such a weird thing for nature to be.
Yep.
That's a
Can anyone do this?
17. No, hold on. I did my math. That's a 16.
All right. Was anybody else rolling other than Rusty?
I'll take a crack at it.
Can I roll or?
It's not gonna work well,
I
but
said
Most of
other
you think
than
about
Rusty?
intelligence for nature does make
Oh.
sense because it's kind of like
It's the knowledge
biology.
of it.
Yeah. It's just also kind of weird because you think druids would probably want nature as a check, and then it's like nature. The druids
That's
run
why
off
they
of
get
wisdom.
proficiency.
Just really weird.
I got a modified one.
Oh my god.
Man, that guy's list was terrible. Even though I haven't been acting it out right. But yeah, Orin, in your little bit of travels, despite the minor isolation that Rockwell had before starting to expand, thanks to the guild that you're a part of and wanting to spread the joys of technology to the world. You've heard of some snake people, and this one is clearly a hybrid of the two. Meta-wise, I will let you know that he is a Yonti pureblood.
Oh no, I figured that was like as soon as I finally put the pieces together from earlier, I was like, wait a minute, kind of slanted eye sockets, like iris that is like
Yep,
kind of in a weird position,
Yeah.
hissing. This is like he looks like a snake.
My
His
God.
eyes, at least.
Yes. What?
And he is the treasurer slash financial planner, and he seems to like to hoard money.
Not concerning at all.
Anywho,
So when do you guys plan on moving then?
As soon as possible. It's going to take time to pack up all our belongings, of course.
now should we be doing this in segments so that we don't draw too much attention?
Yeah,
Maybe
I was thinking
try to get the weakest members of the population out first. And I guess the other question is too is do we have gods traveling back and forth with each group along with ourselves?
That's going to be the challenge. We barely have enough to defend as it is.
Are you saying you're going to hire us for that duty?
I mean, I just kind of assumed we were volunteering at this point.
Considering the massive payout you guys got.
True.
You got over 2,000 gold each. You guys at this level should only have about 800.
Oh, let me
Oh,
write
wow.
that down. I didn't write that down last time.
Yeah, there's
2,000.
2275 each.
Yeah, I put it in the at first I put it in the wrong chat like a dingus, and then Bobby put it in the right chat like a not dingus.
2275, you said?
Yep. And that was with giving a share to Vots and Robin. The Resistance had you guys keep all that just because of the taunts with gold free. They're like, yeah, no, this is definitely like the way we in Masara can thank you.
Also, there's a giant mansion to melt down.
Yeah, that's why they're like, yeah, no, we'll deal with that being spread. You guys keep the wealth that was already in there.
Now, was the toilet made of electrum? Because it's the most useless piece of currency in this game.
You'd think in the normal world, yes, but I have plans. Anyways,
Oh, electrum's the worst. It's literally like, it's
default electrum
less
is. Anyways.
it's less than a gold, but more than a silver. It's like, why?
Anyways. So yeah, Crypt is the only one that's hesitant just because he's not getting all the gold, but after some brief additional thoughts about, well, what's the farmland like out there?
Massive.
Empty.
I'm in!
There you go.
It's farmy.
And ready
Did
to
we-
harvest.
Did we see any farm animals around when we were there? I don't remember us actually noting that or not.
Roll for
Or was-
intelligence.
Roll for history.
Yeah, there was nothing there.
So, alright.
Just crops ready to go, pretty much.
We're gonna
Yeah,
time
so-
jump now. So
Whee!
a week and a half go by.
And we haven't started moving people yet.
No. I'm saying during this week and a half, Masara ends up packing up. You guys hang around helping with the guards to essentially keep on watch for any forces of goblins and kobolds, but none seem to arrive. So after a week and a half, it's been almost 2 weeks at this point because of the travel time from earlier. God damn it, Ian.
Okay, I'll stop.
I lost my place. God damn it. But yeah,
Because of the
it's
travel
only-
time from
it's only
earlier.
God damn it. Yeah, it's been close to 2 weeks. So from the time frame that Mr. Goldfrey was talking about, you guys would estimate that he's gotten the forces together. They're about to get prepped, and it's gonna take them a week. But you guys are gonna arrive a little bit early. But the people considering, like, they're like, yeah, since we know what the threat would be, and you guys have the guards to be able to defend against a small amount of things, especially with the resistance working on taking care of things while you guys are helping the township like pack up and keep them protected and stuff. Like they're feeling like the general consensus just seems to be, yeah, let's go. Let's go. This place has been all right to us, but before it becomes something bad, let's leave it as a good memory and move back in and start anew. Yet again.
Hooray!
This time with more security.
New Masara, the city of new beginnings.
Newer Masara.
Yup. So yeah.
Might as well just call it New Sara.
I like it.
So yeah, then especially with all the people, especially the injuries that and those that need to be carried, and the lack of wagons. Like there's the one that came from Alia, and then there's like two that are in Masara that were used for like collecting wood and such. Those get repurposed into transporting the injured, and everyone travels at a slow pace, so it takes you another 4 days because of the very slow pace to get from Masara to what used to be Harwetul, coming up on the farmlands. And like as you arrive at the farmlands, you just you blink and the dirty human goes it that you guys have learned was Joe, who was the lead farmer and manages the food and resources of the town. He's already picked out one of the old homes and is like, it wasn't even a used one. Like it was recently built, but nobody had moved into that one previously, and he's just like dibs. And
Yeehaw! It's free real estate.
Yup.
Nice.
And yeah, so you guys get to the outskirts of the city. It is, you guys made sure to arrive during the daytime. After a brief couple hours of trying to find the resistance, you meet back up with them. They join you. Drock and Rook exchange like the arm handshake where you like grab up by near the elbow, like they catch each other up on things. The resistance has, thanks to Beers's clerical powers and their other magic essentially helping them. They found only 3 more shadows in their searches in the past few days, or 3 groupings of shadows, but have been able to take them all out. Almost losing Sneaky BT, BT Sneaky, but he managed to just get out. And yeah, pretty much everyone moves in. The residents essentially take up their old homes and move back in, and things appear peaceful.
Nice.
All right, that's the campaign, everyone. Good job.
We did it.
Yeah, Jesse has
We
confirmed he's
saved
not
the
gonna be joining
city.
us, but so you guys have a decent bit of gold. Unfortunately, Mama Yaba hasn't really had time to make much for new resources. So is there anything that you guys wanted from their previous stores that you can remember? Or do we want to call things a little early today?
I think
Or-
I tried.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
forgot about that. Rusty, how have you been with these 2 wheats?
He's been kind of more distant. He seemed to not really been paying attention as much as he should. Always seems to be kind of lost in thought and just kind of doesn't look quite right if you just look at him.
So, yeah, in
You,
the interim, you guys...
You doing okay there, bud?
Go for it.
I don't know.
Well, that's sort of vague.
We want to go visit that mountain?
Absolutely, I think. But it's just... Are dreams normally this scary?
You also haven't had
Sometimes.
one in 2 weeks.
That's-
It's usually a mix.
I mean, usually they call that a nightmare.
Most of them are kind of middle of the road, good portion of good, some are bad. Of course, it also varies person to person.
Why all of a sudden would it start? And it would stop.
I mean, you're asking people that dream on a nightly basis.
Do
But
we
I
though?
haven't had a dream in 2 weeks. The last
your
one was
characters would have
so...
had your normal types of dreams and such.
Yeah, but do we have them on a nightly basis?
for most
What?
of you, maybe.
No, it's supposed to be a case of that we dream, but we don't always remember it.
I mean, that's exactly what that is.
Yeah, that seems normal enough.
I don't know. The things I saw in my dream were disturbing. It made me feel something that I don't think I had.
Such
You don't say.
Which are
as-
feelings themselves. I was normally just indifferent to things. Now I actually feel like I care. And I feel a hatred yet betrayal.
Somebody at that mountain dicked you over?
I don't know. That's why I want to go. I want to see.
Okay.
Makes sense. Kind of. I mean, it's a lead of some variety. Maybe we'll figure out what you are.
And you guys know it's gonna be like another 6 days before the reinforcements arrive. So you got some.
Well, we get
to
time to kill. Want to go find out what happened to you at that mountain?
I think that would be best.
All right, let's do it then.
Right, and Bobby, I just want to make a quick question.
All right.
Either while we were back at Masara
Mm-hmm.
or even here in New Masara, is there any kind of like a messaging service, like a mail delivery of any form?
They have a very rough one, but because it was only like about, I think it was like 200 people big was Masara.
Uh-huh.
They usually would just be like, oh hey, I'm just gonna go pop in and visit Jimmy today.
Damn, no Pony Express.
Yeah, they, and also considering Masara was like the other main area.
Yeah.
I assume you
yeah,
were referring to getting a message to Rockwell.
Yeah. Anyways. And if not, it's not a big
At
deal.
this time, not really.
All right. Well, before. All right. Well, yeah. Okay. Never mind then.
Yeah, sorry, man.
All right, to the mountain then.
Yeah. I
Sure.
just want to take care of something real quick, like.
Okie dokie.
I just need to go find either the mayor or the captain.
All right. Roll me a d4.
A D4.
Yeah.
That's a 2.
2. All right. You end up finding Drock as he's patrolling one of the walls. You've seen him a couple times from below, so you end up going up that way, and you find him on his patrol. Oh,
All right.
hello.
Hi. Yeah. Hi, Drock. I had something. We're gonna go. Me and my group of compatriots. We're gonna leave the city for a little bit. We're gonna go. Trying to help a friend find something in some nearby mountains that have got him a bit curious of sorts. So what I was gonna say, I've got a stone here. I pull out one of my 2 sending stones. So like, in case anything happens, whether town's under attack or maybe when the clerics arrive or whatever, you can use this to message us and let us know.
Thank you. Wow. All right. Yeah. No, that'll be great. Thank you.
No problem. Alrighty, well, I probably shouldn't keep the others waiting. I just wanted to make sure somebody, either you or the mayor, somebody here,
Yes,
had
yes.
some means of contacting us in case the need arise.
Thank you very much. Yeah. No, you've done more than enough for all of us. We owe you. We owe you more
Don't-
than money could do.
Don't worry about it. Okay,
Thank you.
I'll leave you back to your patrols now. See ya.
Will do. And he tucks it like into like the upper portion of his chest plate. Like he's got a pocket up there that's for important items.
Mhm.
Good luck on
Alrighty.
helping your friend.
Thanks. And I'll meet back with the group.
All right. Do you guys want to stop by Mama Yaba's or anywhere on the way out while they try to get themselves set up, or just head out?
I kind of want to try to get that sword identified again to see if it actually activated.
Okay.
Like, tell her, just kind of, just tell her, like, hey, the sword activated while we were fighting these demon things.
Yep.
They went all kabooies, and my
they have
sword
not
went
glowed
kablow.
since you left the mansion originally.
Oh, okay.
The glow faded a little while after your combat with Virgil.
Oh, okay. So that, yeah. So I will try that.
All right.
Oh.
She goes to look at it again. Oh, okay, I can try again. That's weird that it activated, but yeah, no, it still seems locked to me. I can't sense what it is. I mean, you've given a description of what it can do, but no, I got nothing for you. I'm sorry there.
Do you have any theories?
No, I don't know.
Hello?
She just doesn't know. She has no idea why.
Oh,
I'm trying. Sorry, I was trying to
just wanted to
think
make
of,
sure
like,
that I was
Yeah,
still
sorry.
on the thing.
Always a good thing to do with the online chats.
all right. I'll. Thank you for trying. I appreciate it.
Wait, how long have I known Identify?
Wait, what?
Excuse me.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
a first level
Christ.
ritual spell.
But did you pick it as one of them? Does it work like the cleric list, where you just know them all by default? Or do you need to prepare to still be able to ritual cast like a bard?
No, it's a ritual cast. It's specifically listed as ritual. I just have to spend time to ritual cast it.
Well, the thing
Because
with bards is
my
it has to be
so
prepared,
my
but they can ritual cast it.
It just says that I can cast it because that's the thing, Bobby. I don't like when it comes to my spells. I'm like pseudo wizard in the sense no, not
Gotcha,
pseudo.
so you would have
I
full access to
yeah.
the list.
Yeah, I have full. Basically, the idea behind my character spells is that when I cast them, I create little gizmos and gadgets to do it. So I'm not really using magic most of the time. So the idea behind a ritual cast of Identify would be that I'm using a gizmo.
That makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah.
So yeah. So after he
Anywho.
comes back with her, when he rejoins the party, and you've done that, Kratom and Mott / Jenkins, I should say. Anything you guys want to do?
I haven't started casting at all. I haven't.
Yeah, no, I'm saying while you were talking to Drock.
Oh, okay.
And
Sorry.
while Rusty went to Mama Yaba's, what would you guys want to do?
How much time do we have?
6 days until the clerics arrive.
Yeah, I'm just going around outskirts of the city, seeing if I can get herb-wise.
Okay, yeah. So you want to use the downtime after moving in. So
Oh,
Let's
can I
see.
also buy a potion from her? Or is she still plumb out?
she still has her previous stock, so I can look up what she's got left. But yeah, yeah. So, Dave, how many times would you want to go searching? Would you want to go searching each night of the trip back?
Sure.
All right, so that'll be 4 survival checks for the trip back, and then 1 for while you were in the city.
All right.
So a total
That's
of 5.
a 6 for the first one.
So I'm gonna look up Mami Yaba's thing. Just type in one of the chats all the rolls you got, and I assume you're just going for both herbs and, of course, healing stuff, right?
Yep, and anything out of the ordinary that I might come across.
Very well. Where the
You
fuck is our
discover
inventory?
a rock. No, I'm sorry. A rock lobster.
Mott, while he's rolling, was there anything that you were interested in doing?
Yes.
Set you up
I,
for it?
I assume that I still have all of those flyers from the Hoople concert.
Yep.
I modify them to have a date a couple of weeks in the future.
Okay.
At the new town?
Yes.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll a dexterity check to try to cover it up but not make it smudgy and still make it look nice.
Yeah, I changed the location, the date.
With your crayon.
Yes.
Yep.
Dexterity, you said?
Yep.
Modified 20.
Wow, it looks like a new poster just with the label slapped over it. It blends in so well. You turned Mott into a creative design of some Tracy other patterns and covered it up to make room to put Jenkins instead.
Oh,
of the
no.
other
It's
text for wherever
Hoople.
Oh, as Hoople.
Yeah, it's the
okay.
Hoople poster still. It's just location and time change.
But you're leaving it as Hoople. Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
Do you not remember what happened last time?
Yes, I'm aware.
Okay.
Perfect. All right.
I'm not putting them up or anything yet. I'm just modifying them.
Okay. Good to know. Because I was like, are you about to go put them up? All right.
No.
All right, so you're doing that. Kratom, you find, let's see, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You get 6 batches or 6 kettles worth of tea. And then with that 21, you end up getting...
Tieflings making tea was a stereotype.
Oh, that's because I'm not a tiefling.
Wait, what are you again?
Technically, I'm a tiefling, but it's a long story.
It's complex.
Like, tieflings before there were tieflings.
Oh, okay.
So you're
So
a
a
demon.
demon.
No, before they were
fae.
tieflings.
So a regular person.
Nope.
I mean, you got to be more specific because not all tieflings come from fae.
True.
In fact, the majority of tieflings were just humans cursed with
True.
like some sort of a demonic curse in their bloodline.
Tieflings before they became the original tieflings. Which is Fae.
You confuse me.
Mm-hmm.
Let's
it's in
go over to
I'm
systems
sure we'll
Sword
get into
Coast?
it more.
I believe. Alright, so it was the 6 kettles of tea and what else?
Yep, that's what I was just rolling. You get 40 more gold's worth of healing potion ingredients, as well as shit. Where did I put?
One night in Bangkok.
You also get 3 doses worth of poison that can be put onto a blade, and if you boil it down.
Interesting.
Is
What
that
kind
a
of poison?
permanent effect?
Just don't smell it while you're
Oh, it
cooking.
just gives them the poison condition, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
Is that only last for a certain while, or?
Yes. They'll
Okay.
most likely be short-term doses.
Oh, okay.
'Cause, yeah, that was not a natural 20, I assume, right? Right, Dave? That 21 was not a nat 20? That was...
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it was a roll to 17.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, that's what you end up getting through all your foraging on those days.
Alrighty.
Alright. And, yeah, so Hoople's taking care of that. Kratom got all that. So Rusty was gonna look at the inventory. Was anybody else gonna go for inventory at the shops?
Let me take a look.
Because to
What do
to
I got on me?
recall what they had. Give me a second. Oh, that's why. So Mummy Yaba, she doesn't have any more healing potions as those got used up by the guards. She has 2 water breathing potions remaining, and then she's also got 250 worth of healing ingredients, 100 of transmutation ingredients, as well as a few other various ingredients for if you were trying to go for making a specific potion.
I could use some more stuff. I could grab like another 100 of potion ingredients.
All right.
And then maybe pop into the general store. Ooh, they've got a new storefront now. I wonder how that's set up.
they're still unpacking that stuff at this time. Like they've
Yeah.
just gotten the location, so a lot of stuff's boxed up. But yeah, at the general store they had dark vision goggles.
Uh-huh.
They had a scroll of feather falling. Wait,
Uh-huh.
did nobody buy that one? I thought somebody might have.
I don't think we bought it.
He's not
'Cause-
selling rations because they still have to harvest everything. And he's got the various other basic items at this time.
Did he have any other magic items?
Magic wise, no. It was just the dark vision goggles left and the scroll of feather falling.
Damn. Okay. Yeah, so I'd probably want to buy. I already said I want to buy the 100 of potion ingredients.
Yep.
I could use some more ball bearing bags. I'll buy like 2 more bags of ball bearings.
Let me
And
roll to see how
then-
many he has of those. Yeah, you can get 2 more, no problem.
Okay. Oh, oil. I need oil.
All right.
How much oil does he have?
Because the resistance was using a bunch in this area, he only has a little bit left, and they've had to light up a lot of the town, so he doesn't have too much. So disadvantage. He's got 1 flask he can afford to spare to sell.
Well, one's better than nothing.
Yep.
Alright, so I'll buy that. I'll buy 2 ball bearing bags, and then obviously the potion ingredients. So,
Yep.
what's that thing? Ball bearing. I want to say ball bearings are 1 gold a bag, or was it? Whatever,
It was
something
either
like
1
that
or
is.
10. All I know is it comes with 1,000.
Yeah, I know. 1 oil flask, and then bump my healing ingredients to 180's worth. All right, let me look
Did
that
either
up.
of those items catch anybody else's interest? Or not really?
Not really.
I'm good.
And then Spit and Fire also for Magic had the fire resist leather armor. But yeah, other than that, it was just basic weaponry from there. So, everyone's still good?
Yep.
I think so.
Alrighty.
You said there was no health potions?
No health potions. Those were used on the guards from the last fight.
That's why I bought
Damn.
ingredients.
And that was just what she would let still go. The rest are being saved for brewing the rest of the health potions to try to get people back on their feet. Alright. So that takes care of that. And I guess you guys get ready to head out?
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Very well. So it's going at a normal pace. It's going to be a 4-day trek to get to the mountain. 2 days in is when you're passing through the now empty town of Masara. And as you pass through,
You
Go
got
ahead and
attacked
give-
by kobolds.
give perception checks.
All of us?
Alrighty.
Because I assume you guys would be like, they were concerned with
What
something
the- what the
attacking.
fu- Okay, lag.
Okay. What the
I have a
fuck is
passive
that?
perception of 14.
I also.
So you wouldn't be paying too much attention?
Modified 20.
Alright.
Well, that's good because I got a 3, which is like I think a 4 for me, maybe a 5.
I got a 12.
My,
Right.
I mean, to be fair, my first roll was a 17, but it went flying off the table because it didn't actually go into the thing. So
So upon approaching,
I got a 19.
Kratom, you notice that there is you notice an unusually amount of movement coming from inside the city. So, as a precaution, you get a really strong idea that maybe you guys go around instead of through the quote-unquote unoccupied town.
Yep, I think we better go around. Seems to be something suspicious going on there.
such
Well-
as it looks fine to me.
There is some movement.
Dude, we've been to like 3 towns and all of them have been bad news. If he says we should avoid it, I'm gonna agree.
I mean, Masara wasn't a bad town.
Okay, that's the one
Was.
saving grace. But what gives you this bad feeling?
I mean, unless we want to clear out another town.
I mean,
Up to
nobody's.
you guys.
I mean, nobody's living there now, right? We just went up. Nothing. No, never mind. Anyways, okay, let's
If
go.
you guys are, looking to fill your
Rusty, any
bloodlust.
feedback, or
I
No,
mean, it's,
I was making a joke about burning the town down.
I think it would be unnecessary, so I think we can just go around.
Yep.
All right, I'm good to go around.
all right.
Yep.
Ian, you've been quiet for a bit. Everything all right? All good?
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
just kind of. I mean, I'm just going with the flow.
Okay. I wasn't sure if any developments happened with your mental state, but all right. So
We're going
No,
around
I think he's still
town.
thinking.
okay. So yeah, so you go around the town and you continue on with Rusty ending up taking the bit of a lead as you guys continue headed northeast. You make another couple encampments along the way, so I assume Kratom, you'd be foraging during the campaigns.
Yep.
So 4 more checks.
Yay.
God damn, you guys are gonna be a fucking traveling dream.
Does my passive perception of 14 do anything for me here?
No, passive is when you're not paying attention
Woo!
and stuff.
Oh,
could,
cool.
Might sneak up on you, really.
Well,
Look
I
at
got a
that
nat
remote.
20, which is modified to 24.
On what?
Perception.
What were you looking for?
Said to make a roll. I don't know.
No, I'm
Oh.
having Dave make the survival rolls for foraging ingredients.
Those are a lot better rolls.
Oh, my bad.
Okay. So, with those rolls, especially since now you've come on this side of the town, things seems to be a bit less picked off. Less travel seemed to happen this way. You get another... all those... And that 23 is not natural, right? Or, sorry, not
Right.
nat 20.
No, it is one off.
Oof. Yeah, so you get another 8 batches of tea.
Okay.
70 gold worth of healing potion ingredients. 2 more doses of potential poison. And you find 5 good berries that will not decay in 24 hours.
Yay.
I don't believe you.
They're natural ones, they're not magic good berries. Why are you measuring 300 meters away?
That was fine.
God damn it, Ian.
Oh God, he's checking how far he can throw me.
Yeet that bitch. Anyways, so at this point, about noon, going through your 4th day. Let me go check my other stuff. Oh fuck! I left that other notebook over there. Give me a second. Just fucking damn it! I'm dumb. I didn't prepare enough.
Random encounters. Or not so random, I guess.
Yeah.
Partially expected
Garfield, the
encounters.
Heels Warlock. Okay.
So yeah, as you guys are approaching, what would you like to do? Look around for clues? Just survey the area? Have any other
Approaching
ideas
the
in
mountain?
mind? Yeah, you're approaching like the base of the mountain, and it's a single lone mountain.
Can I do any investigation checks on it?
Investigation is looking at something that's like 2 feet in front of you. Like you're looking for intricate
The
details.
mountain?
If you're looking for details on the mountain, that'd be perception. Because you're perceiving something from a distance.
Okay.
Could
I
I
will-
make a history check
Oh, God.
about any
Oh, God.
local
What's happening?
history on the?
Oh, well, no.
1 second, Ian. Jim, you're
Yep.
asking to do a
Yeah.
history check on
The mountain, just like see if there's like any kind of like local lore on the mountain or anything like that. Like anything that might lead to a hint as why our friend here thinks thinks we might have an answer for him. Like, like maybe there's, historical documents show there was once an ancient civilization here or something like that,
I'll
There's a
say
secret
yes,
hidden
but
door.
at disadvantage
Rude.
because of the contest I have for this.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, no, all things considered. So that would be history. Oh, and I have that's a modified 20 at the lowest.
Oh my god.
Holy shit! All right. So, given what you've seen of Rusty during combat, and because of coming from rock gnomes, who have had buddies with dwarves in the past, you heard occasional tales, especially in like your research of just examining the outside world from what Rockwell knew of things. You found at one point an old book that seldom got cracked open, but there was some tales of a lone mountain that was uncertain what was going on with it, but it was believed to be cursed. It was a dwarven based tale.
So I'm guessing based on that, I could theoretically surmise that this might possibly be the mountain from said tale.
It's
Possibly.
not very often that mountains form as a single mountain with its own peak. They're usually part of a range. This one matches that description.
Oh,
Okay.
a
Interesting.
lonely mountain, you might say.
Yes. And then, Ian, you were doing a perception.
Is it misty?
Yeah. That was 21.
Yeah. It's a clear day, and with that, with that perception check, looking specifically up at the mountain to try to figure out anything, you notice that near the peak there seems to be like a missing chunk, as if things were leveled out up there.
At the peak?
Near the peak. There's like how the
There's
peak
like
is
a
the
plateau
triangle,
is
but
what you're saying?
There's a little plateau, like seems to be carved into it.
Kind of like the Grinch little thing.
In a sense, yeah.
Maybe bigger.
Yeah, a bit significantly wider than that, but the same premise.
It's a landing pad.
All right.
I will not share that with the party, though.
I, however, will share my information with the party. It's like,
Tales
hey,
of potentially cursed, considered by dwarves.
Yeah. I'm just kind of like, I'll just be staring at the mountain, kind of like rubbing my chin, like, where have I heard of this before? Why does this seem? Oh, ha. So this is a singular lone mountain, right?
There is no sign of any other peaks from what you saw when
Yep.
you were approaching from a distance. through the forest.
That was in character.
And I'm just saying. For
Rusty
clarity,
looks to the left and right.
Yeah.
No, yes.
So it's a lone mountain, is what you're saying.
I'd assume
Yeah.
so, yes.
And you seem to have some memories or some inkling that you might find something about yourself here.
Possibly. I
Well-
woke up here, so.
Way back in my studies, I distinctly remember finding an old book at one point. It was an old dwarvish tale of a lone mountain in the middle of nowhere, all by itself, that was very, very cursed. That there was
So
some
you-
kind of dwarvish civilization here, something like that. I don't know the details, but it's cursed, supposedly.
So do you think I am cursed?
Not necessarily, but I am implying that perhaps, maybe, this could possibly. Just saying we should be on our guard.
Like it might be a trap.
Not necessarily a trap, but more so in it's probably not safe, considering it is considered to be cursed.
Do you remember
I
why
see.
it was cursed?
Bobby, what I did the book go into like any details in that? Should I roll like
No,
another
it
check
was
for that, or
mostly, it seemed a bit like a boogeyman tale that was essentially just to be like, yeah,
stay
dwarves don't
stay
settle
away?
Here. Dwarves
Yeah.
don't settle here. Like some pass through, but they didn't
It's like-
like what they saw and
Yeah.
moved on.
There's no particular like thing. It's just that everything I found, just dwarves would come here and they just wouldn't want to settle. And I mean, with a mountain like this, I mean, why would dwarves not want to settle here? So there's something about this place that's off. I mean, aside from the fact that it's a lone mountain, and that's not geographically normal. So
Yeah, that does raise some questions. Oh well, I guess we should start climbing it.
Bobby,
Yes?
would I recognize anything in the dream about these, or was it too scattered still?
Nope. There was nothing in the
All
dream
right.
about these.
if I give him a conk out the back of a head with a wrench,
Can I investigate for like a door maybe or something?
Those would also
Sen-
be part of perception. Investigation is like you have an item in your hands and you're looking closer at it.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
Perception is glance from a distance. But yeah, with that 21 that you had earlier, no, there's no clear door or anything. It seems like you just had to pretty much scale it.
Oh,
But,
I shouldn't have rolled.
you wasted a nat 20.
Yeah.
Well, that works out as an excuse for this. Because you noticed that and having that info, you notice that there's a small smoke trail to the left, near, like, relatively near you guys, but it's near the base of the mountain, and it's like as if there's some sort of civilization there, because it seems like a controlled small flame. It's not like a
Oh, we're not
building
at the
out of
mountain
control
yet?
thing. No, you're like at the base of it, but like going around the bottom of it.
Oh,
there's
okay.
a smoke trail coming from the edge of the woods, ways to the left of you guys, a distance off.
Gotcha. I'll probably just instinctually head towards that.
All right. I assume the rest of the party just follows.
well, where you going? Wait for us.
I don't know.
So as you guys head towards it, are you just brazenly going, or are you trying to sneak up on what you assume to be residents?
I'm
or
assuming
just
residents.
Intelligent life around here.
I
Well,
will
we'll know
sneak.
soon enough. We'll know in a moment when they try to kill us or not. So you know.
I'm gonna do a stealth roll.
All right.
That is 15.
You feel pretty sneaky as you're going through the bushes.
Hooray!
Do the sneak.
So everybody else is pretty much just walking up.
Yeah, I'm
Pretty
gonna be
much.
walking up.
All right. As you burst through the edge of a few bushes into a bit of a clearing, you see a group of about 12 Goliaths just stop what they're doing and look over at the sudden intrusion.
Hi guys.
Well,
Oh,
hello
sorry to
there.
intrude.
Not often we see visitors out this way.
Yeah, we're actually looking for this guy's backstory. He kind of woke up on he woke up without his memory on the side of this mountain, so we're just kind of investigating at the moment.
Okay, so to go into a bit more detail on them, they seem, at a quick glance, very basic. They appear to all have tents, not like any solid buildings or anything. And a lot of them, especially to you, Kratom, you recognize their style of dress as more druidic in nature. And like they seem to be very live off the land, very rural. Well, not rural, but nomadic folk.
I like these people. Seem like my kind of people.
Yeah, like
Would-
most of them appear to be druidic in nature.
Would I know this or?
No.
Okay.
So how long you guys been around here?
Oh, we pass by this mountain every so often. The tales of the supposed curse. A couple of people have gone up there after talking to us when we've camped here before. They always come back down and just seem sullen and like felt like they wasted their time.
Nothing
You
strange. Nothing that looks like this guy over here.
No, this
I wave.
you're a unique one. We don't really care much for the metal, but
Why? What's wrong with metal?
well, one of the default things of druids is they don't use metal weapons.
Oh
and
yes,
such.
but it's
I can't help. I was born this way.
You were born as a metal man. The first we've ever
think.
heard of.
I mean, I just woke up down here. I was hoping I could find some answers.
Well, good luck on your hunt for the answers. 1 second, check my other notes.
Bobby, seeing that they're friendly, I come out of my hiding spot and say, like, there, done tying my shoe.
Do you go boo?
No.
A couple of them like draw weapons just because of another startling. Like a couple, like when they'd stopped earlier, that was like freeze of, oh shit, what the? Oh, okay, it's just travelers. Okay, cool. You pop out and go, like one of them raises a weapon, but then goes, oh no, it's fine, and lowers it.
Like, I was tying my shoe.
Yeah,
sorry.
Little
you-
do they know you're actually wearing sandals.
When you live in the wilds, you gotta adapt to the wilds.
Sorry, I dropped my contact. That's fair. Didn't want to startle you.
We've always had a strange
didn't know what
feeling
to
around
expect
it,
either, you
as
know?
if it were like hallowed ground or something that we just tend to avoid ourselves. It just reeks of ancient death, but nothing has ever.
hallowed or
Transpired.
desecrated.
Do you know the curse that surrounds this mountain?
Curse? No, it just feels wrong to go up there.
So you've never been to the top?
No, we avoid climbing this mountain. We just pass through,
Through the mountain?
like through the area.
Ah, okay. Just checking that there wasn't some kind of secret cave system.
Yeah, is there a way into the mountain?
Not that we've seen. It's pretty much just climbing.
Well, Rusty, maybe you fell off the top of the mountain.
Maybe.
Hit your head a few times.
Only one way to find out.
Well, judging by that way that plateau is up there, and I point at it this time, it's one pretty hefty fall.
Yeah, that could lead to some serious amnesia. Death in most people that aren't made of metal.
Yeah, I don't have any climbing gear, so if we do
No.
that, I'm going in the bag.
If it was falling, if we go all the way up there and push you off so you hit your head again, will you get all your memories back?
Oh my god.
He could be
Nah.
onto something.
It seems like a bad idea.
Oh, neat.
Hey, Oren, can your cannon walk up walls at a 90-degree angle by any chance?
I mean, I don't believe it could. I think it can climb fairly well, but I mean, 90-degree angle might take a little bit.
I do have a climber's kit.
Oh, well, in that case, never mind.
I have access to Spider's Walk and Featherfall.
Oh,
I
I also have
Spiders.
Featherfall, but I don't have,
or a spider.
Alright, so it's about noontime. They offer you a meal as a bounty of nature to essentially catch your breath from your travels and just enjoy the hanging around the big folk and just
Good berries! Good berries for all!
no, like they serve like mostly like actual like meat and a bunch of assorted other fruits and veggies.
Right,
Yeah,
actual
glasses.
oh my
food.
god, thank you.
When they offer me a drink, can I just throw it on my face?
Well, I'm making probably another 2 kettles of tea.
They will happily indulge in that and enjoy the trade of nature's spoils.
I'm liking this new character trope.
We'll be here for a couple of days at least, so if you ever need a point of rest or if something happens, just let us know and we'll
Save point.
It's
But you guys have essentially made some Goliath friends, mostly druids and a couple of hardy-looking barbarians.
yay!
Huzzah!
Sweet.
So yeah, so you can choose to either, well, after the meals and everything and the awkwardness of splashing drink and tea on your face again,
Look, I need to get Rusty somehow. All right.
Oh my god. Oh,
Well,
Jesus.
he is going to smell more natural.
That is a good point.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's about 2 or 3 in the afternoon at this point, and I assume you guys want to start the trek or camp out and wait for the
Yeah,
morning.
I think Rusty would be very antsy. So I think he'd try to.
I'd be down to start the trek with him.
Yeah.
Suppose I don't have much of a choice in the matter.
I'm not asking you to come. I'm just.
All right.
Well, you've convinced me. I'm going.
Wow.
So, whoever
No, I
wants
said I'm
to
coming,
lead
not
the
going.
initial charge up the least steep part of the mountain, go ahead and make a survival check to find a decent path out of
So
nature's
so where's
carving.
that? Where's
I
that?
assume.
Where's that plateau that we could see? Like, are we just kind of starting below it or something?
Only Rusty has seen it, and
Oh
it
my
is.
God.
You guys
No,
are
I
on
pointed
these.
it out.
You guys are on. Oh, you have now? Oh, okay.
Yeah, in the camp, I said that's probably where I fell from.
Oh, sorry, I missed that detail. My bad.
Said
Yeah.
survival, right?
You guys are on the straight east side, and it is on the southern side.
I got an 8. Oh, I'm sorry. 6.
We're all making survival checks.
It's either all make your survival check to see who's leading the charge, pretty much, or somebody can give someone else advantage to pick out the path.
I got a 16.
I got a 20 modified.
All right.
Can I do one last perception before we climb to actually see if there is doors?
I got a 13.
I counted that in with the other stuff earlier. There is no
Oh, you
sign of
did?
any doors.
I did
Like,
not know.
it-
All right.
And they have never seen anything like that either. Like, they being the Goliaths.
Yeah. Alrighty.
All
All
right.
right, I mean, all right, go ahead.
The druid essentially, the druid of the group is like, no, land, let's go this way. And leads the way, I guess. So, for the first few hours, you guys have basically no problems. It's not too steep that it causes any issues. You end up finding...
Wait, are we climbing the mountain right now?
Yes.
I thought we were trying to find like I think 'cause I was just gonna say I was just gonna cast spider climb and just walk straight up.
It's not a steep area at this point because you have a whole mountain to go.
Oh yeah, it's at like a
this
90-degree
is-
angle.
No, this is the slow increase. This is like, at most, it's like a 20 to 30-degree pitch.
Yeah, but I was just gonna say I could just find where the plateau was and then just walk straight up.
Yeah, we're walking
How
to
long does spider time last?
An hour.
It's gonna take longer than that to reach the peak of the mountain.
Yeah, mountains.
I mean,
take
surely
a
there
while.
would be. I say surely there would be a spot that I could stop and rest.
Well,
Whatever.
possibly.
Well, do we want to stop and rest? Or how long have we been going?
I mean, it wouldn't.
I was saying for like the first 2 or 3 hours before it gets dark, you guys make it about a third to half of the way up the mountain. Without needing to make any checks on anything. Like, it never becomes
Alright,
steep
do we
enough
wanna-
that you feel the need to use the spider climb.
Do you guys want to set up camp here since it's getting dark?
Sure.
Alright.
Rusty, you cool with that?
I suppose, yes, I have to.
I realize you're eager, but we want to save up some strength here.
I've waited this long. I think I can wait a little bit more.
Okay, fair. Orin, sound good
As
to
he
you?
paces back and forth.
I mean, I'm kind of the only one here that. I mean, that does it really matter at this point?
I
How
don't
do
know,
you
you
mean?
tell us.
Yes.
Okay. Alright, so I will
So you guys...
cast us a dome before. If anybody wants to do anything before that, let me know.
So I'll just say roll another survival check to find a level enough spot to set up bedrolls for the evening.
All of us or just him?
All of you.
Oh no, I'm gonna fall off a hill. I got
Oh
a
my
10.
god. I also got a 10.
16.
An 8.
Ooh.
Alright, Kratom finds a little alcove where some water apparently, like, almost forms a waterfall when it rains because it carved out an area a bit more vertically, but you end up finding a little bit of a shelf to take a break on.
Is it fresh water? Clean water?
It's not like accumulated water, but like when it rains and it's running down the mountain, this is a point where it would be a little bit of a waterfall type of setup, but it's dry right now.
Oh, okay.
So you guys made camp, you set up the hut, and it's a long night. And Rusty,
14 passive perception, or I have a dream.
nothing happens.
Ah, you cheese.
Alright, I cast the dome.
No, I'm saying like you had the dome and the dome pops next day. Everyone's awake.
Cool.
Can I do a perception check to see if anything was waiting for us, or?
That
'Cause
would have
I'd
been
be
your
up before
passive
the
while
night.
you were asleep, and like
Well,
I
I'd be
said-
up before them, right?
Well, yeah, you would be. So, yeah, go ahead and roll a perception check.
Ow, ow. Oh my fucking god. Peer persuasion perception +3. 11.
Nothing's really happening. There's just the small little trail of smoke again as the camp at the base of the mountain seems to be making their breakfast.
I try to wave to them.
You wave. You can't see if they respond. Alright. So, as you guys begin to trek back up the mountain again, this time, you guys get a little about 2/3 of the way up, and by the time it gets to be about roughly 10 a.m., and now is when things are starting to get steeper. So, now you're gonna probably start to use the climber's kit / magic to advance up.
I'm gonna wild shape into a black bear.
That's a great idea.
Okay.
It has a climbing speed of 30.
Well,
I
all
look
right,
over
then.
at
You won't
Orin
need to make
doing
athletics checks.
I look over at Orin, and I don't know if you noticed my inventory, Bobby, but I have something. I put on a costume that matches his form.
What?
I have
Excuse
a bear
me?
costume.
You look over at Orin and do this?
I was gonna- no, I look over at
him.
You have a bear costume?
I was gonna say you have a costume that makes you look like
A
a
rock
gnome.
No, I meant to say I look over at Kratom.
So, is it made out of paper mache?
I don't know. It's
was
very
a skinned
big.
bear at one point.
But yeah, I put that on.
A fucking inside joke. But you go, oh, okay. I can do this much. This will help. All right. So, Orin, you could probably make it to the peak in about an hour at this point if you wanted to spider climb your way up and just go
Yeah.
straight while the party has to navigate some twists and turns.
Yeah, because you can just dash up there.
Pretty much.
So,
So-
any description for how you choose to split the party?
So I take it's like hold on, yeah. So I'll see Kratom turn into a black bear and Mont put on his bear suit.
As Rusty, I assume, is pulling out the climber's tools.
Yep.
Is that bear
Well-
suit going to give him disadvantage on the athletics checks?
Shh! Spoilers!
Okay, what I was gonna say is I'll look at Rusty real quick and be like, hey, you want to get in the bag?
No, what a twist.
It'd be a tight fit to get in the entrance, but yeah. Ian?
Rusty.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
Sorry, hang on one second. Hannah called me.
Okay. I love this twist, Jim.
That's fantastic.
And I'm sorry for not being like, oh yeah, you used Spider Climb early. I didn't want you to just...
No,
Even
I
with the
didn't.
rest?
I wasn't really sure how the mountain worked because I was confused as to our location on the mountain. So when you said we were like walking
Gotcha.
up, it, I was
Yeah,
like,
no,
I was
you
like,
guys were like on the forest that bridges the bottom
Yeah.
of the base of the mountain. Sorry.
okay.
That's what it was previously, but now you guys are a portion of the way
Yeah.
up. 2/3.
I think I know when I went to like Monadnock, and like the first like hour was just like walking on a slight hill.
Yep.
And then like eventually it's just like, oh, you have to straight up like hop over rocks, and then there's some rock stairs, and then there's like it's just all rocks.
Next time you go, we should have either me light a firework or you bring a laser pointer.
Huh?
It could work. I'll just have to try and
But
find your
that's a
house.
mountain I
From...
can see from my house, Jim.
Oh.
Like, I'm on one of the foothills of that
I
one.
gotta work on my cardio before I do that again. I've been sitting around too much.
Yeah, same.
I'd be like, I'd make it a very small amount. I struggled the last time I went for reference, and that was when I was like starting to go back to the gym.
That's when he was ripped.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, plus now also you gotta reserve parking spaces because of COVID.
All right.
Just want to make sure there's not too many people. Yeah, alright.
True.
All right, I'm back. What do you want me to do?
Anyways, so I look over it. So I see Kratom turn into a bear. I see Mont putting on his bear suit. I look over to Rusty and I say, and Orin says, "Hey, Rusty.
Hey.
You want to get in the bag?"
I will try my best.
It'll be a tight fit, but you will just barely be able to squeeze in. Your shoulders won't, so you're essentially stuck popped out of it the whole time.
So I'm basically like
Guy
a cork.
in a little plane.
Yeah, like you can't get your arms out of the way to be able to pop those in. Like, that's how wide the badge is. It just fits your torso, but you can't get it past your shoulders. Oh my god, this is so silly. But yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So Rusty fiddles his way into the bag, and I kind of just I
Quick
pull out
question.
like my tink. I pull out. Yeah.
Rusty, did you pull out your climber's tools?
I would assume I'd give it to him since I'm going in the bag. My climber's tools.
Yep, you pull out your climber's tools. Alright. So,
All right. I put them in my backpack.
okay.
Wait, you think the bag of holding was my only bag?
Not what I'm laughing about, but alright.
Anyways, so I take out my tinkering tools and I kind of mess with my shoes a little bit. I had to put a little contraption on them. They're like, okay, and I kind of like walk past the grizzly, our new black bear friend, and I just start walking straight up the cliff.
Friends, you mean?
Just
They're like, later, guys.
Like, oh, okay.
You
like
see
Alucard
gigantic
in-
robots
I didn't know
sticking
he could
out.
do that.
Just walking up casually at a 90-degree angle.
Yep.
Bear-
Just
I didn't know
barely
he could
even
do this either.
Shit. Just
Now-
waltzing right up.
Now, how heavy am I?
Because of the magic of the bag, I'm flavoring it as for this. It's not an encumbrance. Most of
Okay.
your weight's inside the bag, anyways. All right, so
I just look over at Kratom. Like,
Yeah, I was
hey,
gonna say,
Bear, did you
Kratom?
know he could do that?
you should
Same.
start climbing, no problem. Mott, you don't have any climber's tools. You're wearing a bar costume. How do you proceed?
I climbed the mountain.
Give me athletics with disadvantage.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Maybe we should. Maybe we should.
This
I
is
don't
an
know, give him my
opportunity
climber's
start.
tools.
Anyone get any like early Brother Bear vibes right now?
Little bit. Little bit.
So that's an 8.
Okay. You go to start climbing, and you keep sliding back down and falling on your ass back at the campsite that you guys just had.
Oof.
I am very glad I prepared Featherfall.
Oh.
You're
I
really
try
making
again.
much progress.
Hey, Oren, you think we should give him the climber's tools I gave you?
You guys are gone at this point.
Oh yeah, no, we're probably
Yeah, but I mean, I assume I'm looking backwards. Like, oh, this just happened.
I mean, you could, but you're
not
so
even
focused
backwards.
on
The bag of holding's probably like affected to gravity, so you're probably like just kind of like looking down and seeing this.
Yeah.
So did he get hurt when he fell?
No, he kept sliding back down. He did and fall.
Oh, okay.
He was not taking fall damage because he's not getting high enough up to take fall damage, anyways.
I would like to try again.
Okay, athletics at disadvantage.
Natural 2.
Kratom, what are you doing during all this?
Uh,
You climbing or
looking
you
back.
watching this fiasco?
See, I'm gonna keep an eye on him in case he
That's
breaks
last.
something.
Is it what? Yeah, it's
Last.
less. It's
I guess
7 this
One
time.
less.
You make it almost to where you got before, and you lose your footing on the loose gravel at the side of the mountain, and you slide back down on your ass again.
Wait.
All right.
Oh.
I take off the bear costume, save for the head part.
So you're just wearing a bear head?
Yes.
Alright. Go ahead and give me a straight roll, but at -1 because of your vision being obscured by the mask.
I'll take it.
I was gonna do a
17.
being nice. Now you're actually
I
finding a
appreciate
couple
that.
footholds and making your way up.
After removing all the gravel.
Yeah, pretty much. You push off all the gravel and made footholds. Okay, that's
Okay,
good job
guys,
one
I made it.
done. So, during this, so I'd say about half an hour, Orange just running up, getting a good chunk of the way.
Moving at a fast speed of 25 feet.
I mean, it could
50
be
per
50
round.
feet if I'm dashing every turn,
True.
So
or dashing occasionally, at least.
Yep. So then, after a little while, it gets even steeper on you, Mott. Make another check now.
Oh boy.
You can just hear Orin whistling a tune.
It just echoes off the top of the mountain.
Ooh.
18 this time.
Even with the minus?
Yep.
Damn. You're getting lucky, and you're getting your footholds, and you're getting up. You're getting
Alright.
close. You can see the plateau in the distance. You got one more burst in you. Make one
This
more
time-
roll.
Ooh.
No!
Oh no!
Ooh.
It's a 1. It's a modified 1.
Oh,
modified.
buddy.
Oh, that's. Oh dear.
Fuck me.
I hope you
With
prepared
your
Featherfall.
handholds, you were going at you were so confident, going at a nice quick pace. You get a good amount ahead of Kratom. Do. One of the handholds you grab on as you let go of your foot, it breaks, and you start tumbling down the side of the hill a bit.
How steep is this hill?
Oh, it's steep.
Like define
Oh,
steep.
no.
Like what? Like give me an angle here. We
Bouncing
talking.
off the wall and falling about 10 to 20 feet at a time.
I hope
Oh.
I hope you prepared Featherfall, dude.
Nope.
Oh.
So
I start climbing down after him.
I was flavoring it as he was going really fast, a little too fast, so he got a little ahead of you. You take 17 points of bludgeoning damage and
Oh!
smack into Kratom instead of going sailing past.
How much health do you have?
Kratom, athletics
Everyone
with
check the
advantage
group
to hold
notes
your
on
ground
Discord.
as you get impacted.
He just like bounces up me. I just grab his collar with my teeth.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's.
Everyone look at the group notes
Yep.
channel on Discord.
Oh god.
17 points, you said?
Yes, you take 17 bludgeoning damage because you were so ambitious and tried to get so far ahead.
Well, at least he's not making Dave make a check.
I did, but because of the flavor of how he described it, I'm like, yeah, nope, never mind. It wasn't hurt anyways. But yeah. Alright.
Did you hear something? Nah, it's fine.
I heard a scream and
It
but
kept
that's
getting
about it.
interrupted.
Nah, it's probably nothing.
At this point, you guys are cresting the mountaintop. Meanwhile, Kratom, you have caught your companion.
Okay.
Oh, he caught me?
Yes. It's why you didn't just keep going.
Ah! Oh
It's
my
why
god.
you're not. It's why you're not dead.
Thank you.
Because you didn't have climber's tools to secure your way up. You were just free climbing, and you slipped.
Thank you, Brother Bear.
No.
I walk to the top of the mountain and I have the bear head under my arm like an astronaut holding his
How the
helmet.
fuck do you walk to the top of the mountain?
Well, as I get to the top, I have like the bear head under my arm like it's an astronaut heroically walking with a helmet.
But how have you gotten up to the top?
I thought you said we were cresting the top.
I
Or
They
you- those
were.
two.
I
Not you two.
Oh. I thought you were implying that it was like sometime
I'm talking
after.
about the spider guys that went ahead of you.
Yeah, I'm talking about
Never
the guy
mind that then.
He's talking about Spider-Man over here.
Spider gnome, spider gnome.
Wise
For one-
bear.
For
May
once,
I
it was
ride
the
you like a
reverse
horse?
pocket note. We got a pocket barbarian now.
I'll take that as a yes. I ride
No,
you.
I still have him firmly in the teeth, and I'm just kind of dragging him
You hold
slightly
him out
up
over
the
the
side
edge.
of the mountain. Yep.
Like what? He's just like he's just a rambunctious cub, and you've had enough of his shit.
Yep. Exactly.
Oh fuck.
All right, Mott, you are now dangling over the mountain edge.
Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Not
So
a fan
wait,
of this.
is he with us now?
No, you two are way up ahead. This is still bad when Mott fell. No progression
Oh,
has been
gotcha.
made since. You guys are pressed
Oh.
in the top while Mott fell.
All right. You know
Okay.
what? Screw it. I just move him over to my back because it's going to be easier anyway.
Okay.
That is
Cool.
until you get to the reverse 45-degree angle.
Oh my god.
All right, Mott, make it an athletics check just to hold on. No, I'm kidding.
Oh my god.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I'm gonna do it anyway.
Oh my god.
Quick,
No.
tie yourself
I'm
to
kidding.
his back.
Alright.
Jesus. All right. So
Did we make it?
eventually you will, yes.
Hooray.
I'm trying. I'm keep getting distracted from grabbing the map I
Oh,
had ready.
I was gonna
for
say,
this.
hopefully, as long as Dave
Uh,
doesn't fall off the mountain.
Briefly, guys, please blindfolds.
I mean, just don't look at the screen.
blindfold.
Yeah, pretty much.
Press the B
Hit
key.
the BT.
I just turned my monitor off.
That works.
I
too,
mean, that works
guess.
too.
A little extreme, but okay.
Oh Jesus.
Spider pig, spider pig, does. I can't believe you reverse pocket note me, Jim.
Outstanding.
Why is there a second Rusty token? What the fuck?
Because I was turning into him before.
Yeah, but that shouldn't have been where it was. All right, whatever.
And you had that boss turn
Give
into
me
him,
a
so there were three
moment.
Rusties in that, like, second or third session,
Yeah, but I
remember?
got rid of all that stuff, Jake.
Ah.
That you
I'm
know.
Rusty, you're Rusty, he's Rusty. Are there any other Rusties I should know about?
Hello.
Okay, blindfolds off. Okay, so Orin and Rusty, you guys went to the plateau. There's a few trees up here, and
I take it this
After a
this
little bit of
blue
walking.
area.
it's water.
Sorry, I was gonna. Oh, it's water. Okay, I was gonna say I take it that's like the ledge of the cliff or something.
Nope, that's a pool of water that's up here.
All right, so
You
where
essentially
would
you walked for about 3 or 4 minutes through a small outcropping of trees and have come across this area.
Wow, we didn't even wait.
Oh, unless
guess
you
we're-
were... All right, fine.
I was gonna say I guess we're assholes.
Okay.
Well, I
Well, I
mean,
mean, you
we
guys
have
just
to make sure.
went.
Hey,
I was gonna say I do have a very antsy robot trapped in my bag right now.
yeah.
Okay.
But he's safely in
Uh,
the bag.
So while you guys are walking, because of Kratom's
Oh, I was gonna say. Oh no, I assume we would just walk off without them because I have a very antsy robot in my bag.
But yeah,
I'd
Kratom,
probably-
with your climbing speed, you're cresting the hill as you guys arrive to this area.
I'd probably request the climbing gear back though, because I'm like, oh, I didn't
No,
see
it-
this happening.
Yeah, so okay. While you pull yourself out of the bag and get your climbing gear back on your own person, the other two catch up. When you guys get to the top of the area, Kratom, and it levels out, do you kick them off your back, or do you just leave them on there?
They give him a tossle off the side.
I made
Having-
it!
Already been missing half of my health.
1 point of bludgeoning damage.
No, I'm not gonna do that.
No, I know.
I'm already down to 16 health.
Oh, hey
This
guys, you
adventure's
finally.
going great.
It's like, hey guys, you finally caught up. What happened
Yeah.
to you?
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay. So yeah. There's a bit of a.
Does anyone have any band-aids or health potions?
I have a herbalism kit. Is that right? Yeah.
How much you want for it?
That's
Uh,
that's
That-
not
that's
how
a
that
kit.
works, Jake.
Oh,
It's a kit.
Herbalism kit is used to make
use the
potions.
resources.
cool.
I mean, it's not like you don't have like healing word for yourself or anything.
I can
Anyways,
use that on myself.
Yes.
Oh, well.
Do you guys mind if we take like a small pee break or something?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I gotta
Yeah, 'cause
help
it's either
Hannah.
that or we call the session here.
Yeah, I mean, I prefer to continue on if you guys don't mind.
Yeah,
Fine
I'm
with
Yeah,
me.
works for me.
All right, we'll take a break.
All right, be right back.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So sorry for the craziness of this session.
Oh, it's
Yeah, no
cure
worries.
wounds that I have.
Cure wounds. That's even better. But
Local hobo nearly dies off cliff.
that's, so far as a whole, how are things for you guys? I know it's been very limiting. I was hoping to open things up a bit more, but with the
I've been
time and
enjoying it.
everything-
Mm-hmm.
The mountain has been cool.
I gave so many opportunities for you to not be in that dire of a situation.
Oh, what? Going up the mountain?
Yes.
I realized that.
Uh,
I was fully aware the whole time, but my intelligence is not that high, and my guy has already decided he's trying to be comedic half the time.
I was also given the opportunity for Rusty to offer the climbing gear to the one person who.
It seemed like he was going to, but
Well, he gave it to.
He gave it to me, and I put it in my bag, and then we started climbing up the mountain.
oh,
At
true.
no, he could have easily said like, "Hey, yeah, give it to so and so," and I could have been like, "Yeah," but we started walking up the mountain. And he's like, "Ooh, shouldn't we help?" I was like, "Nah, it's fine."
The comedy of errors. But yeah. This is quite the wacky session. And hey, who knows? Maybe with this extra time that you guys are out here, by the time you get back to the city, they'll have new resources. Considering it took 4 days to get out here and they were 6 days away, that's 2 days I can be working on what's been going on in the city while you guys were gone.
That is a good point. Oh, and what do you call it? I'm missing 17 health, so I think I can use. Yeah, I'm gonna use a second level spell slot to heal myself, and then it adds +4 because of my casting modifier.
So you roll the extra die for the higher level, I believe.
Yep, I just need to grab 2
I'll be right
d8s.
Alright.
So that is 9 + 4, so 13.
Most of your wounds have closed up.
Hooray!
You got a little dirt in the remaining ones. Pulling out a couple pieces of gravel.
29's better than 16.
Yeah. I'm just like, I swear to God, Jake, if you nat one and get yourself killed, my God, man.
Not the way I was looking to go.
Because there's not really any stopping after 2 chets of climbing.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I'll have to think that through next time a little bit more. Maybe he'll learn his lesson. Who
Hopefully. Because, yeah, your intelligence may be your dump stat, but you're not that much of a brain dead idiot. That's a,
True,
that's
true.
a 4 intelligence.
Yeah, that's fair. Alright, well, I'm gonna run to the bathroom too. I'll be right back.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently he wanted to play a game of life.
Yeah, I just got this voice mod last night. I'm just like, I keep hearing about it in these episodes. It's like, alright, I should do this, and oh hey, a free one. Cool. And then a cheap permanent unlock, so I'm like, alright, fuck it, I'll go with that. I got a good mic, I can have some fun with this. I gotta work on getting music though for ambience. I have a full list. It's just I have to then download it and then upload it into the Discord server to create a usable link that I can have tabletop run.
Right.
Because it's not, I can't just be like, oh hey, play this, but nope, because I can't just open it in a web browser. Because nope, it's you have the download available, but you can't just play it from the web browser off of a direct link.
That would be too easy.
Exactly. So now I have to hope that all the songs are under 4 minutes, otherwise they're above the 8 megabit or megabyte upload limit that Discord has. Ugh. Hopefully I can get Roll20 working. It'll probably actually handle a lot of things, because it has all of those tracks in there by default. You guys have really been, despite all the filler, just been blasting through everything.
Hold on a second.
Yep. Your turn for a break.
Yeah, 1 sec. Yep, we have 1 thing of orange juice.
Well, soon you'll have no orange juice.
Make a trip down if it wasn't there. Wasted time.
This will probably be our longest session yet.
Might be.
I think it almost is already. We're at 3 hours.
Mhm.
Our longest is 3 hours and 20 minutes.
Back.
Hello.
Hi.
Ian's still gone. Dave just left right before Jim returned.
Ah.
Always the way.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking my guy's excuse for being so dumb on the mountain is he's used to, like, espionage kind of things and mostly urban settings and not climbing mountains, so instinctually he was like, well, all I know how to do is espionage, so I better disguise myself as a bear.
while you guys were both gone, I made a joke with Dave being like,
I guess he wanted to play a game with life.
Oh my goodness.
it's the voice mod is even called like Game Over, and it's a little picture of like an emoticon version of like that doll that Saul uses.
Of Jigsaw.
Yep.
Huh.
And then a community creation, which I had to recreate manually.
All right, I'm back.
Tried to
Welcome
make
back.
a
Claptrap voice, but it doesn't quite sound right.
It's close.
I was gonna say, I think it's pretty close.
For what?
the claptrap voice. It's sampled.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So everybody's back except for Ian.
He's not important to this. We can just continue.
Oh yeah,
It's
totally.
not like it's not his mountain or his backstory or anything.
As is tradition.
Alright, so when do we get attacked by the legion of undead dwarves and the mecha dragon?
No, that
think
was
I sent
episode
you that.
129 of On Its Bad Boys.
Oh, I was gonna say, I think I sent you that stat block like a year or two ago
Probably.
from my big ass book of the Creatures Codex and the Tome of Beasts.
I just don't know where that was.
Which one was it? I think it was the Tome of Beasts. I can't do an actual Yoda voice, but I can do a parody Yoda voice.
I gotta say, I can totally hear it.
Yeah, that was
Too
pretty
much ketamine there was.
Oh fuck. Where did that joke come from?
I have no idea.
I keep like trying to find a source on it, and then everybody just keeps saying it.
Yeah. Search it on search it on Know Your Meme or something like that. I'm sure they'll have an origin of some flavor of an
true.
origin there. Oh my god! Because we were talking about that, I was looking up the contents page in here to look for that mecha dragon,
Mm-hmm.
just so I could send it to Bobby again. But I looked under the K section. I was like, ketamine. Wait, that's not a dragon. Oh no.
Okay, I'm back.
Hey,
Of course, when you return when I mute myself and grab a bag of chips. All right, so you guys come to this clearing. There's a very dilapidated and clearly in ruin, ornate. Well, it used to be ornate. Now it's just covered in vines and is broken down. Stone like entryway into the side of the mountain up ahead, and there's just it's a bit of a tavern entrance, but it's just fancy. There's also a little bit of a refreshing pool of water to the right, and then there seems to be, for the most part, a clearing with some debris out in the middle.
Like debris that's been there for a long time or recent?
A long time. Like it's like half submerged in loose gravel and stuff like that.
So let's look over to Rusty. Be like, so buddy, buddy, this ringing any bells? No?
No, unfortunately.
maybe if you go sit in the debris.
I try to bury myself in the gravel.
Okay. As you're going through the gravel, there's a loud tang of metal on metal as your hand strikes something metallic.
Huh. Hey guys, and I continue digging.
What did I put that?
That's it. We found the treasure of Oak Island.
Hold on, go on without me for a second.
We
I think-
found
I
Jamestown.
think someone's at the door upstairs, and my
Alright.
mom's like disappeared. You can
She
keep
got
going. It'll be like
kidnapped.
2 seconds.
So, as you go to uncover it, there it is. You go to. Man, this would have been really helpful to have move Earth from Robin. Fuck. But
Oops.
yep. You guys spend some time clearing off a bunch of loose dirt and gravel and other natural debris, and you find a metal podium pedestal type of setup, and there's two feet prints on it at the center.
So there's like a set of footprints, or like
Like footprints that
Or-
look kind of broken off from the metal. Like there used to be a statue here, and it broke.
Yeah. oh dear.
Can I do some sort of? I assume nothing. Investigation or just knowing
what
like
way?
when it broke.
What are you trying
Or
to
like how-
surmise?
How long it's been here underneath?
That looks like a very long time, given the rust on the metal. Like it's very rusted, and yeah.
Can I search for a plaque of some sort since it's a
Yes,
statue?
yes, you can.
What would that be? The perception or?
Well, considering you guys have been unburying it, that would be a perception. You made the DC pretty low.
I don't think you should because I got a 23.
Well, it was already
No,
low
I'm
because
sorry.
you were unburying most of it. But yeah, you do find around the side that you guys approach from that there is a plaque just barely sticking out of the gravel to be unburied.
Here
Can I
lies
read it?
Rusty, deceased 5 years from today.
Oh, wait a minute. You said there were footprints,
Yep.
right?
Like embedded in the metal. Like it's not like dust footprints. Like it's warped in the metal.
I'm back.
And I step on the footprints?
They match up perfectly.
Oh, did he find where he was?
You were secretly a statue this whole time?
Just looking like it's like, well, I'll admit that's slightly underwhelming.
Well, then why am I alive?
Well, that's the next mystery. Now, is there a plaque here or something?
Yeah, I rolled for it. And
Yeah, but you,
can I look at the plaque?
as you go to uncover it, let me type something into one of the Discord channels based off of the language.
I'm guessing it's Dwarvish. I don't know Dwarvish.
What's the language?
Well, no, he's gonna post
We'll
it in one of
find
the
out in a
Discord
minute.
channels.
Tippity tap. Tap, tip, 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 tap.
Yeah, it's gonna take me a minute. I should have been pre-typing this. Sorry. I wasted that break.
Bobby. Prepared as always. Should we metagame? Would that please your soul?
What?
Or should not metagame, excuse me. Fucking roleplay.
Sure. As you guys are unburying the plat right now. Yeah, I'll just do it line by line.
Here, you know what?
because,
Take your time, because
uh,
my mom's like driving home from the grocery store, and my aunt and uncle just got here. So like they're just standing upstairs, like chilling.
Did she just abandon you and not tell you?
More or less, she'll do that. And usually it's like always when company's coming. And then it's just like my sister and I will be like,
So-
oh, she's not here right now.
for reference with this, when you guys unbury it, you find like the letters are mostly like they're center formatted, so the right side of the plat seems to have taken a lot more weathering damage and has been like chipped a lot and is very difficult to make out anything. Like you can't actually make out the characters, but it's like it's still physically there. You know that it goes a good portion more. It's just unreadable in its current state.
What words do we get?
You get
Bobby is typing.
Here, you guys keep doing that. I'll be like gone for like less than 10 minutes. I just want to not leave them up there. I feel bad. I'm very
I
conflicted.
just realized Alex can see that one. What the fuck?
Oopsie. All right. BRB again.
Yep.
So I will read it out loud. Well, actually, can I read?
Yes.
Okay.
It is in a language you understand.
Here mightily stands for. I
And
can't read that.
That one is cut off immediately.
Oh, like it broke or something, or
Yes.
just.
That's what I was
okay.
describing. Is the right side of the plaque is broken.
Oh, okay. I
It's
thought it was
weathered. It's not like broken off and missing. It's just weathered to the point where it's unreadable.
Gotcha. So this part
In
was
its current
basically
state.
sticking out from the ground, and it's
Yes.
been there. Okay. Here mightily stands for a grand lad of honor with a gleaming heart of proving that despite our little, there will always be guardians of.
So your name is 4?
And first, for clarification, Ian, in that first line where it says 4, the cutoff happens mid-word. Versus the others have a little bit of a space before the cutoff.
Okay. So I can't read the name, but at least I know the first 3 letters. FOR.
And now that he's
Here mightily
failing,
stand for.
I'll just put it in group notes.
Woo!
I just wanted it to be like revealed through Ian.
What could this mean? What did I stand here for?
For being mighty?
But what did I prove?
That's what we're here to figure out.
Who? I need to find out more. I can't.
You are the mighty 4.
Can I do any more investigating to see, like, if I guess out of flavor text, just desperation, just to see if there is any more.
That would be because of the context of this and the way that this is, I would say only you, but an
Can prevent
intelligence
forest
check.
fires.
An intelligence check.
Plus straight intelligence.
Yep.
Okay, 0. So 13.
13. All right. Well, you know that the name is cut off, but with the separations, it seems like the first one is clearly dedicated to saying who you were. The second one seems to be something about your physicality. The third is about the personality. And the fourth is about your ideal. Your ideals. That's as much as you get.
I need. Who was I? Why did I come to life now?
Better
And
question. is how you-
I'll sit down in the gravel, just kind of like, holy shit.
Anybody else at this point, especially since he's read the whole thing out, if you want to try to, well, no, because I would say essentially the same thing. So if you have any ideas for, especially with the info I just gave him, any thoughts you want to investigate or probe on.
Sorry, I'm back.
No worries. I posted it in group notes, is what the message actually has. I don't remember if you were here for that part of it.
Nope.
So if you look in group notes, there's the translation.
Yeah, I see it.
It's cut off in the first word, in the first line. The other lines all have a little bit of space before the worn off part of the plaque, which is still physically there. It's just clearly damaged to where it can't be read in its current state.
Interesting.
I wish we could reverse time or mend that plaque in a way so it's legible.
Anybody got any ideas?
Mending.
Wait. Well, is it a tear or is it erosion?
It's mostly erosion, but like there's like parts of letters still there, but it's unlegible at this current state.
Could I cast mending on it?
You start casting mending on it. It starts fixing it a little bit. Give me 1 second as I start editing it.
Thank you for getting the hint.
I know. I was like,
Sorry.
No worries.
No, you did the good thing.
So, you mend it, and each cast seems to get you like most of a letter. So it seems like it's gonna take a bit of time, but from
I'm sure we've got time.
from excavating the plaque, it also is loose enough that it could be pried up.
Mhm.
And as you guys have that happen, there's the sound of the echoing water splashing from the light breeze, and then the oh, come on, it's not doing it.
And then a kraken comes out.
No. You can hear like the wind blowing, like echoing throughout the cavern of the of the ornate, decorated area back there.
Uh-huh.
So you guys focus on the plaque, take a look around.
I mean, I'm focused on trying to fix the plaque,
I was
so
going to say,
right.
while he's mending that, I'll probably take a look over here. Just kind of meander, ponder, observe, see if I recognize anything.
It's still not coming back to you at this current time. You just get a sense of, you know that you've been here before. You just can't remember anything of it.
Do I notice this over here, by the way? Just this weird shit.
Weird shit? What?
The doors.
Yeah, that's the like the fallen over doors that the now open entrance of the cavern back there.
Oh, gotcha,
Oh.
gotcha. Alright. I think I'm still going to roll for that just because of...
No, you'd see that there is a cave that you could go into.
Oh, I know. I mean, like, just for sanity's sake, because, I mean, I just found out. I was just standing here. And my name is so close, yet so far, and who I was or am.
fixed
And
it.
A little bit. It's still going.
I mean, the name part.
Yep. Oh, whoops. Actually, yeah, no, just the name. The name part's fixed. I'm working on the second one now. Hello?
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay, I wasn't sure if you guys were talking about the first part or just
Oh,
waiting.
God. How did I...
I mean,
how
I
did
figured
do it?
I'm more focused on trying to get it fixed before I start revealing any grand secrets of the universe.
Fair. Like that's why I'm like doing these edits in portions so that you guys can talk while I continue the edits.
How did I pronounce that, Bobby? The name?
Forvist.
Forvist. Who's Forvist?
Well, apparently you're
Who would-
Forvist. Considering it appears to be where you were standing. And you fit like a glove.
Well, that's a fun name.
Do you recall any tales of Forvist?
Nope.
Alright, I don't even have to roll for that. Okay.
Yep.
Probably
Is-
well past our time. We'd have to find something like truly old.
I
a
assume it
dragon.
doesn't have
Maybe where those busted off doors are, you could find some more clues.
a gleaming heart of honor that radiates his compassion.
Maybe your heart's made of gold.
All right, I'll just finish up these.
Why was I called the Fallen?
I
Did
usually-
you fall?
Well, I mean, he got to the bottom of that mountain somehow.
That is
But,
true.
Doesn't usually the term
He
fallen in a
wasn't
title...
Forvist to flying.
Let's say, doesn't fallen in a title like that usually imply that they died?
Yeah. Well, welcome back to life.
I would say you'd probably sense this. Rusty doesn't believe that. Like it's like I'm alive. What do you mean I've died? I'm right here. Look at me.
I mean, were you always a metal man?
As far as I'm aware, there's no.
Which isn't much to say, to be honest.
You're
No
right.
offense.
But then how did I get down at the bottom?
Who knows? Earthquake.
Maybe you walked off.
It's like an earthquake. Maybe something perched up here and knocked you off.
Bobby, at
Maybe-
the edge of this plateau, is it a straight shot down?
Just about. Like there's a bit
Um,
of like near the water, it creates a little bit of a very thin stream that goes down the southern side that curls around towards the western side of the mountain. But
Could I?
for the most part, it is mostly a sheer drop in most
Would I-
areas. After the
Yikes.
plateau.
Would I be able to make some kind of if I check like the footprints where he used to be, like where his statue used to be, would I be able to make some kind of like in like an invention kind of history check kind of thing? Like if there's anything I've ever read about or anything like that. Basically I'm asking, can I tap into the artificer's lore ability to make a history check?
I'm just trying to figure out how to make this work for you.
And just as a reminder, it only covers magic history checks on magic items, alchemical objects, and or technological devices.
And yeah. So yeah, go ahead and make that check. Did you ever do that check directly on him?
I don't think I did. How about I do that first?
Sounds good. Yeah, especially with all this other context. Let
Yeah.
me take a closer look.
Came from a mountain that's able to be
I was
dwarves think is cursed and other things. Okay, so
Ooh,
that's a
that's not a
4.
bad
No,
roll.
hold on. Oh, I'm not done yet. I have to do math now. That's a 6 plus 4. That's a 10. That's a
That's
20.
24.
Yeah, it's 24
All right.
on
Well,
Rusty.
Okay. How do I describe this?
I'm
Shit,
just
my
kind of like
brain's-
I
my
don't
brain's
even warn
failing
you
now.
that I'm doing this. I'm just kind of like finally like taking like another look
Yeah.
over on you, just like
Yep.
I'm like prodding you with like my tinkering tools and like a wrench and just kind of like jotting down notes every now and again, looking up. You're like,
So-
huh? It's like, hold on a minute, no, stand still.
You
What I
understood
find
that
funny-
he's a bit more of an autonomous thing. Like that's essentially been discovered through chat. But as you look in deeper, you can actually see some of the mechanisms that are like for his motion and such. But what you're noticing under the little gaps in pieces here and there is that the interior of his torso, like all like the gears and pulleys and all these other mechanics, they all seem to go into this obsidian-like shell within his
What?
within his chest.
On Earth. What I
And with that roll, through where you see some of the stuff like entering into there, there's a very like you can just barely catch it when it shines just off of the gears that they're at a certain point, but there's a very faint green glow.
What the? That's you don't. Can't say I've ever seen that before. I mean, granted, that kind of goes for everything about you. Do you know
What did you
you
find?
have well, deep inside your chest there?
Oh, actually,
You've
let me
got-
clarify.
where
Instead of
is it?
obsidian, it's more like a dart steel. Like a steel
Okay.
that's completely smooth and black.
Well, kind of in your chest cavity there. It looks like deep in there you've got some kind of like a core of a very dark steel in there. It's very faint, but it radiates a faint green light. I can kind of see it bouncing off some of your sprockets and springs every now and again. Might be how your eyes are green. But that's fascinating. Doesn't seem like I mean, it must be like a magic stone of some sort, or maybe. I mean, it doesn't seem like it would be. I mean, that's. I'm not sure. Could it be? No, that's.
They're mumbling. What's going
Well,
on?
I mean, you've got a strange core that doesn't seem like it would be providing you like it's functioning like I would expect for like a power source. It's almost more like I don't know. I mean, it's just a big, smooth, dark chunk of metal that like kind of illuminates a green energy or light from it. I mean, it could be. I mean, I know. Would I know that, Bobby? Can I make an Arcana check just to confirm whether I know what kind of colors are usually associated with different types of magic?
Yeah, and especially with Artificer's lore, that would definitely help you.
Okay. Oh, well, that's a nat 20, so I don't even have to worry.
Green is a little bit of an oddball one, because sometimes it's used for some channeling stuff, but sometimes it's also seen in necromantic stuff.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so it...
So somewhere between enchantment and necromancy.
Yeah.
Huh. So, I mean, the green light... I mean... It could be a case of enchanted magic, a metal. I mean, but that would kind of go regardless.
Oh, wait, it was nat 20, right?
I feel like,
so,
yeah.
essentially, with figuring out those two things...
Yeah, I mean, if you'd like the proper number, I could
Very... yeah. This hasn't been heard of for hundreds of years. There was just barely any rumors that such magic exists, but it's essentially a soul gem.
But
What?
This
I
is
ju-
inside, Rusty.
Yeah, that's. Oh, that's fascinating. That hasn't. I've only read about it. I didn't think it. Nobody's seen this. What? I just. No one knows how to do
Did
this
it.
anymore. This is amazing. This is revolutionary. If we could just hold on. How does this? How would that even begin to? But how did they make this? How? I
You
just
okay?
hold on.
What's happening?
Oh boy.
What's in there?
Oh boy. That's crazy. That's fascinating. How does that even work? I don't even know. Oof, that's exciting. What do we do? Ooh,
Sir,
So,
snap
at-
out of it.
Rockwell
at
would
this
love to see
point-
this.
At this point,
Yes.
Rusty would shove you and pin you to the ground and be like, "What is it?"
Ah, okay, geez. Okay, you could have just snapped me out of it a little more politely, but fine.
I
That-
need to know.
That core inside of you appears to be something that has not been seen in hundreds of years. No one even knows how to make it anymore. It appears to be a soul gem,
Huh.
i.e.,
Cool.
i.e., if the theory stands based on that plaque, whoever you were, whatever you were, got put inside that gem and now powers the you that is now.
Oh God.
And speaking of the plaque, it got fully mended.
So
What?
you died and they put you in this. If the theory stands, that is.
Guess we give him a minute to process this.
I do. I assume I'd figure out that the plaque is mended and immediately start reading it again.
So you go ahead and read it aloud, and that's why I put it in
Yeah.
the group notes one.
Enlarge folk.
I mean, dwarves are
So, I wasn't a dwarf.
Maybe you were like one of the people we saw earlier down the mountain.
They were pretty large.
I mean, anything compared to a dwarf is large, well, except for gnomes and halflings.
Goliaths
but those
do tend
guys
to
are
be
large
around 10
compared
feet-
to the
about
rest
8
of
to 10
us.
feet tall.
Hmm?
Goliaths are about 8 to 10 feet tall.
True. Interesting. Hmm. Well, we could keep
Who's
checking. We could keep-
Vitas?
Roll a religion check.
Is that everybody or just him?
Everybody, because he said it out loud. Rusty, you probably would not know this
Oh my
one.
god.
It's a V- it's like
I
a
rolled the
Vita. Oh,
6
okay.
on the dice anyway. So,
I think I got it. Let
I
me
got a
just double
5.
check what my religion bonus is.
12.
22.
Okay.
So,
Jim is solving this
Kratom
mystery for
and
you.
Orin. Hey, wait, isn't that the goddess of life? Yeah.
Interesting.
that seems to be
Goddess
your
of
favorite
life.
word now.
Took his soul,
mean,
put it in the green
given
thing, and then
everything I've
shoved it in
seen.
his chest.
What was that, Jake?
I didn't see anything.
That was-
Oh,
that
I thought it was you.
But
Oh.
Dave.
No, it was the other Jake, also known as Dave.
I didn't see your thing light up. I'm sorry.
It's okay, we're all the same to you anyway.
Ow!
But what's the gift
Ooh.
they're referring to? Is it just like a generic statement to say like, "Oh, take away our lives"?
But they will never take our freedom.
Basically. It's like, or did they actually? I mean, they were able to store souls in gems. Maybe. No, maybe I'm overthinking this.
Whoever you
Also,
used
the
to be
fact
must
that it
have
was
saved them from
dwarves
something.
feels really weird to you.
Yeah.
The what?
I'm saying for Orin, the fact that it was dwarves with the soul gem seems weird. It doesn't add up.
Yeah.
About the
Something's-
goddess of life and soul gems?
The goddess of life, soul gems, and dwarves.
Well, Goddess of Life, sure, but the Soul Gems
Yeah.
doesn't.
I guess I'm not entirely understanding, so I
Nope.
guess that's perfect then.
Yep.
What does this mean, Orin? I don't
I-
understand your confusion.
I mean, dwarves using that level of magic just feels very out of character.
Hmm.
It
Well,
doesn't.
then who would?
I'm not sure. I mean, again, if this is an ancient civilization, who knows? That could have been a subsect, but I mean, we'd have to explore the area more, and I'd have to find out more information.
Then let's go, and I will take off charging.
Ugh.
All right. You go to enter into the cave.
Did he just dash off? Oh God.
You enter and you see a couple remnants of skeletons of very short creatures that still, well, in regards to the ones that still have most of the bones around them and weren't just carried away.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
And it seems to be mainly a great hall. The back end has collapsed from erosion, so you can see like the splinters and essentially the rotting tables that used to clearly be big, grand, elegant, and well waxed, and with the unknown amount of time that has passed, they have fallen to rot and have not much left of their previous grandeur.
They called it a mine.
Are you guys coming, or am I going this by myself?
Oh,
Yeah,
we're
go
caught
for
off
it.
guard by you dashing off,
Yeah.
so we have to take a minute to be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Did he just run in there?
Oh boy.
Pretty much. Just be like, I was gonna go check the
chicken.
juice spot.
You run in there, you try to look around, but especially with the back half of the grand hall collapsed in, and you can't really make any more progress than that. It appears a dead end.
Shit.
I wish someone with Move Earth would be great.
No, not in this situation.
Collapses the whole building.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, sounds like a job for the force cannon.
So basically, this right here is all I could see, and I can't progress anymore.
Pretty much. Like, there's a
Okay.
bit more off the map, but there's nothing of significance.
Does that look familiar to you at all?
It
That's
feels
it?
homey, but that's it.
Ooh,
don't know why.
was that grand hall part of the dream where I was?
In the dream, it was full of glass and windows. This one is into a mountain with no windows. It's only the entrance door. There's old
Okay.
metal sconces that have like fallen to the ground or been removed, probably by previous looters.
No, this isn't the same grand hall.
Well, I'm sorry to hear.
Me too.
And it is getting dark out from the time spent up here. So,
Mhm. Should probably camp out for the evening before we try climbing down.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Alternatively, we could just jump off.
I
No
mean,
featherfall.
yes, we can do that when it's not dark out, because one way or another we have to. Wait, I just had an idea.
Oh,
I mean, whether or not they're actually still around, but maybe we could ask those Goliaths at the base of the hill or the mountain if they've ever heard of have any tales of a four-fist.
oh, that's a good idea. It sounds like, based on the description of the large folks, they
They are
might
indeed
have something
large
in
folk.
common.
Yeah.
Well, we should set up camp then and then ask them when we get down there.
Sounds like a plan to me. What about you, Rusty? What do you think? Worth a lead?
I believe so.
Alrighty. Well, let's figure out where to set up camp. I mean, honestly, this big open place is probably fine.
Yeah. I'll make us a dome when you guys are ready. Sorry, Rusty. I know this is frustrating, but we're gonna get to the bottom of it.
At
Or the
least
bottom
for
of the mountain, whichever comes first.
God damn it!
Alright. As you guys settle in, Mod creates the bubble of protection.
I vote Rusty sleeps on his pillar.
You guys set it up close enough that he can
Yep.
stand
Let's
in
do
sentry
that.
mode on the pedestal.
That one.
Yep.
Does it lock in place when he stands there, or is it like
It
just
doesn't lock in place. His feet just match the imprints perfectly.
Okay.
But yeah, you guys wind down and settle in for the evening, and during the night, Rusty,
Success.
It's dark, cold.
And
Warm
echoey.
prickings gradually are felt upon your face, a light tugging at your shoulder. You open your eyes to see the steel dragon trying but failing to pull you towards the surface. Dazed, it takes a second to register what's happening before you look down at the blackness of the sea beneath you and begin clawing your way through the water to the surface. Lungs on fire as you gasp for air upon breaching it. The dragon coughing out water before it faints on your back as you look for any sign of a direction to swim. The waves crash against your face, the salt stings your eyes shut. You're on your side as you awaken and cough up salty water. The wormling running at you and headbutting you in the gut as you groan and reach over to pet at them. They curl around your arm and cling tightly as you take a few deep breaths and safely relax as gentle waves soak your legs and lower torso as your back is covered in itchy sand. You close your eyes, catch your breath, and calm down. Trembling and shaking your head, you look up as the young steel dragon hangs its head over in front of you as you make a remark about them not being able to fit on your shoulders anymore, which gets you and your companion to roar in laughter. There's a rustling of rocks near the base of the mountain close by, and as you approach you see dwarves fleeing as fast as they can, abandoning their pits and collections as they flee from you.
and that is where we'll call the session.